Discretion is advised.
One day, I'm going to get it right, and it's going to be perfect, and it's going to be everything I wanted it to be. But until that day arises, ladies and gentlemen, it's just going to be a series of shit shows, followed by depression, followed by drowning yourself in alcohol and regret. But on a lighter note, guys, happy Thursday. You are listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 217. We are in patch 8.0. Tonight we're going to be talking about all range of BFA stuffs. I wanted to go through some important items to focus on and some not important items to focus on. Talk about shit that matters, shit that doesn't matter. In addition to that, I'm very happy I convinced Rem. Well, I didn't have to do much convincing. I just asked if we could talk about this Azshara video because I was deeply moved by the fish, guys. But I want to talk about that in great depth because it's, oh God, that's so, they're terrible. These two are terrible, guys. If you're watching this on YouTube or live, this is my daily life of dealing with these guys. But I do want to discuss this Azshara thing on a deeper level because there is things that I did not know that I don't know if everybody else knew. And maybe everybody else feels the same. And Murky's going to do something with his tiny warglaives. Size doesn't matter, but it does. Just so we're clear on that. But we are going to dive into that. Possibly be drunk by the end of the show. Not 100% how that's going to look. Don't really know that I am too concerned. But we have that and much, much more. So make sure you guys stay right here.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Amongst the Azeroth elite, there are those who defy convention, the proud who laugh in the face of trolls and never flinch, the few who strive on unity, trust, and unwavering resolve, they who eat tacos. For the players, by the players, we bring you She Can Start a Revolt with a Chaos Bolt, Bell the Pwnecast Vanguard. Through light and darkness, he commands the void, Remedies the Sage Lore Master. We bow to no one. We are Legion. We are Pwnecast.
Hello, people of podcast land. This is Winstolin speaking. And Winstead from the Technically PvP podcast. And you are listening to the Pwnecast podcast.
We're ready. We're ready. We are ready. I realized I didn't do something, so I had to... I keep forgetting the bumper, guys. It just should be fluid part of stuff, but it isn't because I'm old and forget stuff, so... That's kind of what we're dealing with. But I suppose I should unmute these guys, right? Do we feel...
We know.
Yeah, we feel comfortable. This is every day. This is my life.
It started.
And I'm too old for, like, a lot of regret, so I just have to roll with it and just say that this is part of what we do.
It's life.
Is it, though?
It's our life.
Good or bad? Too late to go back now.
I'm just going to have another drink in honor of...
Cheers.
In honor of my youth, really, that doesn't exist anymore. In honor of...
Yeah, skull.
I already drank. I'll drink again.
Yeah, I'm just going to drink until it doesn't feel anymore, right?
Mine's chocolate milk.
Oh, we have to take a shot for every turtle and mix it to the water.
God
damn it.
I just...
You know what really grinds my gears? Remedies.
What I don't understand... I don't understand how this one thing became a thing. Out of all the things that we've heard in BFA, why was this one thing the thing that everybody chose to latch onto in social media?
Because a turtle made it to the water.
Well, every expansion has that like random thing. Like for you, is the Arakoa.
Skyreach.
It was. Well, I really like those witches. I like those, the sisters we kill, the
hags?
Yeah, they
The
remind
witches?
me of the, you know, the
The
harpy.
Witcher series? Yeah, me too.
It reminds me of the harpies without the
screech.
the startling screech, right? Like you're trying to just be chill, and maybe you're you're watching some Netflix, or you're listening to some tunes, and all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, it's like I'm hearing myself, essentially. So it's, you know, it's not fun for anyone.
I don't even remember what the witches say, but we should make that the thing. Get off these damn turtles.
Well, the turtle thing is cute, so like I appreciate the turtle thing, but I was just curious that of all the things that made it to the trendy, you know, the trendy social media.
It's because they can put an emoji between every word. That's what made it cool.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Well, someone in the Discord put a whole emoji-filled turtle head with the thing. I was like, oh my god.
And I admit I laughed because it, you know, turtles, tortillas.
But are you turtle enough for the turtle club?
A turtle has made it to the water. We're just gonna say that every like 5
We're
minutes.
just gonna randomly say that. Guys, if you are new to Pwnecast, my name is Belle, and I apologize. I don't know what else to say outside of I apologize if you're new, because
Tortellini.
we are the faces only mothers can love. So
Oh, by the way, hi mom.
that's just the lay of the land.
Murky's mom.
Wow.
My mom is not watching because my mom is here,
Hi, Belle's mom. I'll see you tomorrow.
begging me to take her to Walmart 40 times. Literally, that lady, I love her to death. She has asked me to take her to Walmart like 40 times today. The good news is, though, my daughter now drives. So I was like, hey, Anastasia has a license. She has a car. Mom gave her gas money. Go forth in Walmart.
Oh, especially if she's paying for the gas. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, go forth in Walmart. Go be and do things that don't involve me having to go to Walmart with you.
Yeah, if you really want to, go down to Goodyear for Walmart.
You all know Grandma's giving her gas money, so.
I know. My mom's buying everything for her right now, which is the only reason Anastasia was like, I'll go with her.
How many pumpkin spices did she have today?
I don't know, but I could have used. I need some ginger in my life, and not the one I married. Not that I don't need that. There's really no way out of this at this point. I'm trying to think of something, so thank God he doesn't watch the show and support me in any manner, so I don't have to be concerned with him hearing any insults. But I need some ginger spice latte in my basic white bitch life. And with me is my two co-hosts. We have Remedies, not the Revelation. Get the fuck out of here! Who put that?
It's a revelation.
Remedies, the Revelation. Okay, I might be able to dig that vibe. And then Murky the Magnificent.
That's a fucking lie.
Although he has been trying to make the magical Murloc a thing for like 3 weeks.
The magic Murloc. It's like the magic conch. It's so good.
Guys, it's just it's a bad day to be any kind of nerd. Just kidding. All right, so let's talk about what's happening September 4th. Trial of Style, which is Rem's like absolute one of his favorite events because he says he wins, but I think he's just going up against himself.
That's usually how I win, yeah.
Self-starting is a thing, and we learned that last week. How important self-starting is to being a productive member of society.
Master self-starter.
Yeah, reaching your relationship goals too, and with yourself.
These are all masturbation jokes.
You have to love yourself before you can love anyone else, right? Isn't that the, you know?
That's what they say.
I really love myself then.
I know, that's why, like, you like love yourself more than anybody I know.
I'm so excited.
It's so weird.
It's like it's you.
I love myself, but I don't love myself. Trial of Style, so there's no graceful exit here.
You open the door and here we're going.
Holes, man.
It's important that for the Trial of Style, you don't go dressed like you just shopped at the Salvation Army. Now, I'm sure I've insulted somebody who shops at the Salvation
Army. Some actually require you to look like that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I just want you guys to know that I'm not insulting anybody that shops at the Salvation Army because, I mean, it is what it is, right? But
Goodwill has good stuff.
I think we can agree that there is, you know.
Just buy something that matches. That's all.
Yeah, well...
That matches something that you own.
So go heckle people, really, is the goal here, is to just heckle. You can heckle still, right? Is that still a thing?
I think so. You can yell at them in chat.
So LFR then.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
Well, go forth. If you've never done Trial of Style, they do have ensembles that you can purchase, so you can look your...
Are they adding new ones since you mentioned?
Well, I did attempt to look up I looked up the latest Wowhead guide, which it looks like it was updated in June. I don't know what Season 2 is, because I didn't really do the Trial of Style stuff.
Season 2 was last expansion.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Be...
Because I thought I saw that it updated in one of the patches it updated. So I don't see anything new, but it's not to say that they're not going to add it. Blizzard likes to do stuff last minute, so it might be Wowhead just hasn't pulled the data mine yet.
If they don't add a new set, I worry about
you can have dance floor, spotlights. That's super awkward. But there's all kinds of stuff, so take advantage. And if you've never done it, especially if you're new to World of Warcraft, which I can't imagine anybody listening to us is new, when there's so many other more popular World of Warcraft podcasts out there that are giving you guys the important information. That's what I read anyway today on the internet. I thought, wow, who is this podcast they're talking about? Surely they're talking about somebody who really is giving you important information. And then I looked and I was like, yeah, that group is not giving you important information. But we're not going to do that, guys, today, right? We're going to behave ourselves, and we're not going to be bitter about fucking morons on the internet. We're not going to be bitter about that at all. But, Rem, do you have new transmogs to take to your Trial of Style? Is that...
I mean, some of the class sets from Nighthold and Two Months like Eris, but in terms of new fancy mogs...
Like, do you put together your stuff in advance so that you're not being like everybody else with your full sets of ready-made gear instead of mixing and matching?
It depends. If it's like an easy, what's the word? An easy
theme.
Girlfriend?
Theme?
No, not girlfriend.
If it's an easy theme for the
I have a
round,
list of those if you
then
need easy.
I have a whole bunch of stuff in my pre-made mog that would work, but like for stuff like where it's the tribal or the mismatch mayhem thing, then you just kind of have to wing it.
Interesting. Okay.
Was tribal a thing?
I have...
Yeah.
Should
or
be.
tribal or
I think
savage or something.
My shirt is
Same.
being disloyal.
Which is ironic because it's got a crown on it.
Oh, yeah, it's DC. I haven't been able to fit in this shirt in 2 years. 3 years. 4. I think 4.
Well, the Goonies never say die, so...
My mom stares at me when she walks in. I was on a work call when my husband brought my mom here, and I'm in mid-sentence of sounding super smart and using a ton of big words. And I just hear, "Oh my God, you're so thin!" Everybody on my call heard that. I just said, I apologize, gentlemen. My mom just got in from out of town, and my mom's Italian and rude. So I'm going to step outside in the hot, sweaty sun to have a conversation. They thought it was hysterical.
Really
you're never too old to be embarrassed by your mother in front of your peers.
That's very valid.
Yeah, that's... I love my mother, though. She's a fabulous woman. Warsong Scramble, which... This is hit or miss. I enjoyed it when I did do it last expansion. Don't know what it looks like this expansion because everything is new. But
more life grips.
I did enjoy it because you don't have to kill the EFC in order to be able to cap. So I think the fast, quick, hurry... I think that kind of chaotic dynamic...
That's almost faster than I am.
Well, there isn't many. I've been saving that for a week.
Oh my lord.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. Am I though? I don't... Today is one of those days where I don't know what's sarcasm or what is a joke. Or if it's actually how I feel. I have no idea what any of that means.
Well, you said a pun earlier, and I don't think you caught yourself.
Was I punny?
Yeah. You were talking about the Azshara thing, and you said we're going to go in depth with it. Water. And I was freaking out, and even asked Murky. I was like...
It's still over her head.
It was not a pun. I thought it was a dirty joke that you said in chat. I thought you were taking it in a dirty way. Well, you probably do, but that's neither here nor there. We don't need to go in.
Production.
Right. Guys, we're about quality here, and we're about adult things.
Humor.
No, you just need the tip. You don't need the...
We don't have to lower ourselves to talking about distasteful things to gain viewership, guys.
I was talking about icebergs. Just a tip of the iceberg.
That is all it took, and it took down the whole Titanic. That was,
Yep.
So sometimes when it's just the tip, ladies, don't be too sad, because it might end up working out okay. But moving on, so let's talk about the content that I'm going to say expecting. I haven't seen anything official on a PvP season announcement, but the expectation there, I was thinking that the PvP season was going to start next week, but in my research earlier, all the interweb seems to think it's coming out Tuesday. So I don't know. I don't have any proof of that. I have a Wowhead post that said that this is the expected content. If I had to...
confirmation right now.
Oh.
We do have confirmation?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a post?
Well, no.
Oh.
But if Angie says that it is, then it is.
So where was this post? Can you link me something that's beneficial from Blizzard that says that it's... Because I tried to find it and I couldn't find it anywhere. Now, I knew it was coming soon because the arenas, the fall season starts on September 12th. So the idea was I knew the first season was going to be live by the 11th because they're new... they're using the 2 new arenas, which is the Hook Point and Blabaluma Mamba Jumba is the second one.
Oh, yeah. What was that again?
Mama Lajuma Bumbalumba.
I blessed the
Well,
raids.
I don't know how all the players know because there's been nothing officiated. Like, what has been official that is said? I think it's because if we go by, their past stuff, typically the raid opening week is the PvP season. However, I'm pretty sure last year, or Draenor expansion, I don't believe that those two coincided with each other, if memory serves me correctly. But I haven't seen anything official to say that it is or isn't one way or the other. But I do know that if it is not next Tuesday, that for sure we should expect it by the 11th because the tournament is going to be featuring the 2 new arenas in rotation. So I can't imagine they would let those guys play it and not, the rest of the world, because veterans all over the world and their entitlement would be very upset if we allowed that kind of thing to happen. Mythic Pluses, for all of you tryhards, get in there and get your Mythic Pluses. And then, of course, Old Deer's normal and heroic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Mythic opens the first week LFR opens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. World bosses, which is great because, we love world bosses for disappointment, largely. And then Warfronts, which Rem and I got to test Warfronts. I haven't got to see them past their tuning. I do know that if it didn't take me 7 hours to complete that Warfront, that I probably would have super enjoyed it. But it was a...
And the problem is that the lag was just destroying everything. And by the way, Angie saved her.
Are you serious? How about I fucking looked for this post? Guys, I looked for this... Oh, you know what? That's why. I'm going to tell you why. The reason I didn't see that is because... Shit, it sure does say September 4th. Well, fuck me sideways. Okay, so here's the thing. I was not paying attention to content at this particular posting time. So that's the reason.
Yeah, that's true.
That explains it. Thank you for that, Angie. You're making me a better person. Every day you make me better. You make me a better me. I'm going to dedicate a Rick
This next love
Astley
song
song to you. Yeah, I'm gonna Rick roll. Never gonna give you up.
Never gonna give you up.
Never gonna let you down.
Never gonna turn around and desert you.
See, that's why we go together.
It's gonna be a lot of editing today, boys.
Oh yeah, I'm not editing shit. Where people are just gonna get this in all of its great and awful glory that it is. I am gonna pull a soundbite and I am gonna start Rick rolling occasionally because I just think it'd be really funny. because you guys wouldn't be able to hear it, but the other people would. So I'm like super excited at that possibility. And regarding the intro, I need to add Murky to that. Every time I add somebody to the intro, we lose a cast member. So like by nature, I don't want to.
You're playing like Russian roulette. Like,
yeah, right. You're gonna add me.
But I did put in a request for Winstead to add his own little, because we have a brand new intro that I have never been able to use because by the time I got the finalized version of the intro, I had an existential crisis, essentially. So then I went to go add it and realized, oh shit, we have Murky now and it's unfair to play a new intro without him added. So hopefully we get that in there. It's really killer though. Winstead's very talented with his voices, as you guys know. But it's good business there.
It
anyway.
is Winstolen.
It is Winstolen, yep. Hotfixes. Guys, several of the missing Zandalar mailboxes are back. They're back, guys. We can be okay. You can stop freaking out. Everybody that was like having a meltdown, guys, we're okay. All the mailboxes have been returned.
I leveled a horde character, and it was actually really inconvenient to not have a mailboxes.
Do you not have the stamp whistle toy?
No, I do.
Not have engineering for Molly?
No.
That's an easy fix.
I went. All right, fine. Carry on.
But no, tell me your troubles. I'm here to listen.
Oh, it was just really inconvenient because a lot of those greens that drop in the world, people still pay big prices for. So you would mail those to an alt, like as my DK was questing through Nazmi and shit like that. There's only like 3 mailboxes out there, and your bags fill up like, with everything. There's so much trash.
Yeah, and the fact that the postmaster says like, "Hey, you left this little tooth on this mob. Here you go."
I'm just saying, like, you can't go to every flight path and there's a mailbox. Like, every other flight path was a mailbox.
I got, like, a disinfected mane or some shit in my mailbox.
Probably, they didn't want you to get infected.
But I checked the mail and was like, well, maybe it's something that was important. And I'm like, wow, thanks to Heat Blizzard, I couldn't live without that. I'm glad that your money went to that engineer that coded that.
I think that's a new thing where it's adding like every single item.
No, it's always done that.
Not like this excessive though.
I thought in Legion they only sent you the good things.
Maybe they did change it, like, because I know it happened in the very beginning where it was sending all the things, and I was getting pissed off because it's like, I need you to not try to be my dad. If I chose to not pick that up, if it's a shit item, then that means I didn't want it. But if it's, I guess it's hard for Blizzard to make that decision. But
that's true.
Is it though? I mean, they're the guys that developed it. Wouldn't they be able to say, well, I don't want this chilling memento, but I do want this blah, blah,
solid
blah.
Stone.
Yeah, like blah, blah, blah. Insert blah, blah, blah here, whatever it could be. But now they're back, so, I mean, we were stressed out.
It took them like 2 years to code in 4 levels on a backpack, so...
Guys, 4 slots is still 4 slots, though. Like, when you don't have any, it's that same concept of $1. $1 doesn't have a lot of value except when you have no dollars. Then when you have no dollars and you need 98 cents for a thing, which I don't even know it costs 98 cents anymore, then it's very obvious that you...
Super cheap Chick-fil-A.
You really wish you had that dollar because strippers. But the good ones reserve their stripper money and keep it separate than their regular money because that's just good business. And it's, it's giving back to the community because they're going through med school. But... in regards to PvP,
those daddy issues.
Right. In regards to PvP, many low-level items that provided crowd control ability, silences stuns. I think there's a root in there as well. They don't work past the appropriate level of the expansion for that item. So, I mean, I suppose we were going to expect that, right? Because they're bringing new items into the game for this expansion for that, which I think we talked about that last week, maybe the week before, the nets and the different usable things that you can do, which I think Rem tested the net and it can't act the net that you get from...
It doesn't work on the ground. It's specifically for air mounts.
I feel like that's not intended. I don't know if they intended that. I mean, it says flying mounts, but why would you give us access to something now?
That's what I'm saying. It's
correct.
Too early. We're not going to get flying for what, like another almost a year, probably?
Oh, no. We're only looking at 3-4 months. Probably after the first raid tier.
That's dumb. They need to hold it up for a lot longer.
I think last time it was only...
They're gonna cut in my world PvP, bro.
Well, actually, that's a good point. They might hold it off longer because of that. I don't actually know. I don't know Blizzard anymore. We are not friends. We have become enemies.
Legion had 4 raids, and Flying came before Tomb after Nighthold, so it'd be right in the middle.
Yeah, I do believe it was halfway through. That makes sense.
Yeah, they were living on it prior, so like let's put.
Well, the Netomatic 5000 is what we're talking about. It doesn't work for ground mounts. It only works on flying mounts, unfortunately. So if you have it now, that's fabulous, but it's not going to do you a whole lot of good unless it was their intention or they didn't realize that was the intended thing and they plan on addressing it. I don't really know, but it is what it is. Yeah. And the other hotfix is the Azerite armor is now tradable in dungeons, which, you know,
it's been amazing.
I saw some grumblings of people bitching. Now, you guys know I'm pretty honest about when I talk about Blizzard bowing to the, you know, pandering to the crybabies. But in this instance, I have to be really honest. We spent an entire expansion grinding and not in an alt-friendly expansion until the last, you know,
half of it, yeah.
Wouldn't even say it would be the last half. It was like the last raid tier. Finally, like, they started giving all the things that we needed for catch-up mechanics, which is fine. I don't have a problem working hard, but it wasn't alt-friendly at all. It wasn't gear-friendly at all. You were locked into a box of the things that you had to have in order to be able to be viable in raid. And every time I say viable, I'm going to air quote because people decide who's viable. There isn't a god that sits on top of the mountain. You know, Amanthol's not sitting on top of the mountain saying, you're viable, you're not viable, you're viable. That's
exactly how it works, actually.
A bunch of fucking nerds who are tryhards are the ones who decide what's viable, and they get on their streams and they spew that fucking garbage to the masses, and the masses buy it, and that's how we roll in this game. So I encourage you to figure out your own viability, and you decide and define that. With this kind of thing and us not being so focused on 1 or 2 items, because the necklace, while is great and we need those things, it isn't, I don't think it's a make or break when it comes to how well you know your class with performance if you're very well geared.
Well,
right?
part of the problem with that is if someone's not really in tune with changes and with other classes that they play like off and on, if they don't have an outside source to tell them what's viable, then they're going to invest this much of time in, let's say, their mage, and they're like, oh, I'm not really liking this, or it's not doing the damage output I like. Then they have to re-roll to something else.
Well, so I mean,
the right person is a good way of...
Destro hasn't been viable for 3 expansions, and guess what?
You're still kicking ass.
I'm pretty fucking happy because what we've allowed as players is we've allowed other people to decide our gameplay. We've allowed other people to convince us and tell us we need these things in order to do X and Y. However, this doesn't, for the people that are the tryhards and you want to be and do all those things, go forth and follow the masses of sheep. Do it. Have fun, enjoy, top those charts with the same cookie cutter shit everybody else is doing, because that's what this game is about. But it's okay to be an individual, and it's okay to, you know, do that. This gives us that opportunity because we're not so focused on those 3 pieces, which I think going into it, I thought, great, here's these 3 pieces we're going to be borrowing, and stealing to be able to get the best of the best of. And I've been pleasantly surprised at the ease at which we get them so that we can vary craft with multiple different setups of traits. And Blizzard's allowing it to share us with our friends, so...
Since we're talking about Azerite armor, something that Murky actually brought to both of our attention while we're doing Mythics earlier is if you go in the adventure guide, and you go into the loot table, you can actually shift right click on the gear in the table, and it shows you what
all the traits
will be shown instead of having to worry about, because there's Icy Veins, and I believe Wahod has a list of all the gear and all the traits available, but that gets like, that's a clusterfuck. Because you just go like, oh, this is a mythic I'm in. I can use these shoulders because it gives me dagger in the back or tidal surge or anything like that.
Yeah, they have some of the guides I've seen for the Azerite traits. For people who don't really know what their class is about, if they're new to the class or maybe they're new to the role or the spec, I encourage that. But if you're a person that knows what you're doing on your class and your role, I would encourage you to do less paying attention to what the fuck everybody else is doing, and I would encourage you to use the knowledge that you have to form yourself into what you want it to be, essentially. Like, I did look at stuff for destruction to make sure I was still keeping my focus on the stats I needed, and you know what I mean, just because I don't know all that knowledge, but I wanted to make sure that I was still focused on what I needed to be focused on. And for traits, I honestly haven't had to look at one guide for it, because I just know, okay, this, if I want this is going to be... Well, guess what?
They're wrong.
Right, and then I'm not going to be on my own raid team because I didn't follow the rules.
But also, there's some minor things. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Go on.
No, but so like some things you overlook, like for instance on disc, some of the best traits for Shadow doesn't work for disc because the damage traits like Dagger in the Back or the Tidal Surge doesn't actually carry over for Atonement, and that's something that you might overlook. So stuff like I'm saying, like some stuff is good to look into, some stuff you can do on your own, but yeah.
Rely less on everybody telling you what to do.
And I can agree to that, because before the show, Rem and I were doing mythics, and for the last mythic, I was like, I'm going to go reforge all these traits, because here I am at a website, and I'm like, they recommend these ones that I'm not using, and I thought I would put them on to try them out.
It didn't feel right, did it?
I ate ass the entire dungeon, bottomer.
I love that you said that, because that is what happened to me at the beginning of the expansion. Remember, and I think you and I were even talking, Merc, when that happened, I went and I got a second set of each 3 pieces of armor, and I said, well, you know, this very well-known site with these very well-known followers is telling me that this is what's optimal, and I did change it, and it didn't feel right even from the beginning. Some of the traits it was saying gives X amount of damage output and whatever. Listen,
some of those traits are scary too. Whatever the one is that puts the Azerite pool under casters, it hides every ground effect that'll kill you.
Tiny blue gold pool, and it hides every telegraph on the ground.
I died by standing in the lightning.
Because you were attracted to shiny.
Well, because you're supposed to stand in this pool. That's a trait on the armor. You stand in this pool, and it gives you like 250 main stat. And it hit all the lightning and ground effects that I was supposed to walk out.
Yeah, that would be me. I would die. I'm the person that got hooked.
He did.
I watched the Temple of Snakes, just the last boss fight. I just, first pull, dead.
So I want to get back to that. You followed a guide.
I followed a guide.
From a very well-known source, I'm assuming.
From a, yes.
Like a trusted, it wasn't, you know, I don't even know if Noxium is even around anymore, but.
Who?
Whoever the fuck, right. So very well known. So automatically in our brains we go, okay, well these guys know what they're talking about, so I can take them at their law. And then it didn't. You probably didn't feel right as you were doing it, but you were like, fuck it. I mean, everybody else is doing it clearly.
Well, it's like anyone's first time. It doesn't feel right at first, and then it's.
Well, when you've played a character for so long, when you've invested a couple of years, you kind of know how
you feel it.
Rotation goes, and you see these new abilities, and you know it's not like they work any different. It's a trait that just.
That doesn't work the same way for Shadow. They change it every freaking expansion. So.
But you are, you know, Shadow, that you know, if I pick this trait or this trait, this is what's focusing on one thing and this is focusing on the other. Like any of those traits that affect my Chaos Bolt, I'm going to take that over everything else except for something that affects like my Incinerate or Conflagrate, because my Conflagrate hits hard and my Incinerate is a filler, so it's used a lot. But I'm going to take that over a defensive every day.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I would think I guess most people wouldn't.
For that, because I've been able to actually DPS in Mythic, so I've been able to test any of the outside builds. So
we'll get a tank someday.
But I want people to start taking charge of their own destiny, and I really am starting this internal movement, and I didn't realize I was starting it until, I'm not going to tell you guys why, but just because I don't need that kind of Twitter drama. But I saw a thing, and the thing I saw, and I saw the chat of the thing I saw, and I was like, I'm going to throw up everywhere. I'm literally just going to throw up all over this situation right now because I can't understand what's happening. Now, the thing that was happening is they were very wrong about what was being said. Very wrong. And not one person had the balls to say you're wrong about what you're saying. This is absolutely not
But what was wrong about what was said?
Well, that isn't important because when you start saying that, then people start figuring it out, and we'll fight. I'll have plenty of battles for us to fight on the internet. Don't you worry. I'm going to make lots of enemies. But I just thought to myself, it's to the point where I want you guys to listen to what we have to say, not because we know everything, but because if I don't know, I am going to figure it out. That if that means I have to do it myself, or if that means I have to find people that are the experts at that, or, you know, whatever means I have to do to be able to get you guys as close to the right information as possible. Not all the time, but most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it only takes you so far, and I think it's okay for you to feel something doesn't feel right and not follow the crowd. This being able to trade your armor, this being able to reforge easily. You could just go and swap your stuff out. It gets costly, but I mean,
yeah, mine's at 10K.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, just go dance on the mailbox of Stormwind and get your reforge money. But they're giving us choices, and they're giving us more control over our gear destiny, in the sense of we're not locked to tier. Thank fucking God. We're not farming legendaries. The Azerite necklace has been very fluid. It doesn't feel grindy. I don't feel the need to do every single Azerite world quest, because if I don't do every single Azerite world quest, my raid leader's going to be pissed off because my whole life and death is on this necklace.
Or having to get like artifact power level 22
it's
for the
so nice that it just flows. It just flows. And that's such a good feeling. I want to be powerful, and for those who want to grind and get Azerite necklace level 11 million, cool. Great.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want that to make or break whether or not I, one, am a good player, or two, you know, prove my dedication and worth to be able to raid, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, isn't the catch-up mechanic on the necklace starting up here shortly anyway?
Look at that fucking segue. It's like you're a
crazy.
podcaster. That was
That's
amazing.
crazy.
Guys, I need those of you at home, and even those of you watching right now, I need you guys to just give Murky that praises, because he flawlessly executed that transition. Yes.
Wait, you're transitioning?
Yes, I am. We love all people here. Proud
of you.
I should have been a dude anyway from day one. I don't know.
Probably.
This whole
Goes from bell to ball.
anything
something.
female related on this body was completely wasted. From the hair to
you-
the eyebrows, wasted.
You hit something.
What'd I do?
You hit something.
It says it's streaming.
Oh, now it is. You turned it off and turned it back on.
I didn't do anything.
Oh, it did.
Because once we started talking about my womanly parts, the computer got excited. So,
We went. We're gonna rename you from Bell to Ball.
well, I am gonna turn up my air because, guys, I got sweaty butt crack.
That was okay. But yeah, no,
Like
you
you've
broke
never
it.
had it, please. Get the fuck
Oh,
out of
why?
here.
Swamp ass is always an issue
It's a
in
thing.
Arizona.
So, remind me of the transition. What were we?
What? We're talking about catch-up mechanic for the Azerite necklace.
Yes.
You see, they have this surgery.
So, guys, I want everybody to know that the catch-up mechanic is great. And Rem and I, we had a small discussion where Rem was like, ew, already? He's those guys, right? He's the veterans that are like, I had to walk to and from school 10 miles every day in the snow with no shoes.
Summoning stone.
And then we just gave them all the shoes and no snow. I do agree. I think it's important that there's a good amount of time in between. But I also understand they're making it a little bit more alt-friendly right off the bat so that you can move around and do different things and play different classes. I think a lot of their problem is they locked everybody into one class last expansion until the second half of the expansion, right? Unless you truly had no life, you didn't really do a lot of alting because it was really hard to until after progression and after all those things, because there wasn't any time for it. But I think that maybe that's an apology, or maybe they just want to keep people playing because
Yeah, well, you're making me look like the asshole, but yes.
because I agree with you. I do agree. I mean, you are an asshole, but I do agree with you. Like, it's not fair that I have to grind all this shit to get necklace whatever I want it to be.
Wait till after the raid opens.
Yeah, but maybe that's the design there. Maybe they wanted people because
they
of
want you
raiders.
to have the traits before the raid may have. Like,
well, then get good.
correct. I mean, to be fair, we talked about this earlier on the way to our mythic, and we were only like 30% difference from each other on our necklace level. So,
Guys, if you just start learning to be mediocre, there won't be any expectation there. That has been my whole philosophy since...
That's why I'm acceptive of my mediocrity.
you will burn yourself out, and that would be lame.
Well, I'm okay with being mediocre because when on the days when I'm like above average, it's fucking glorious.
It feels good.
It's like to be celebrated and like the heavens are parting and there's a trumpet in there and yeah, like it's a grand thing, but it's, you know.
I made a joke at your expense earlier.
You did? What?
And I feel like on the show would be the moment to tell this joke.
What was the joke?
So everybody that knows Bell. So we were running to Tol Dagor, the prison dungeon, and I don't have the flight path out there. So I tried to run out there, and I got fatigued and died and had to res sickness to do this dungeon. We run to the dungeon in this mythic group, and they just start pulling trash, and I start DPSing my heart out, just procking everything, and I'm only doing like 100 DPS per second. And all I can say is, damn, this is how Belle feels like every time she does a dungeon.
Aww.
Just try it so
Hey,
hard.
I pull like 5-6K. I mean, I don't know what the going rate is, but
The idea was just trying so hard and feeling so happy, so good. You're procking everything, but only...
I know I'm feeling like I'm doing 11 million damage, and then somebody's like, by the way, you're the bottom of the DPS. Well, of course I am, guys. Is there any other expectation there?
That's why we have friends.
Though I have proved,
Or
right,
run a
last
guild.
expansion, I did prove that I have the capability, I just don't care to, because there were several progression raids in a row where I was, like, 4th in DPS. So I have the ability, I just don't care.
Oh, that's good.
I like shooting shit, and I like killing things, and I like stuff to die.
As long as they die before you, you're good.
I did kill the first 2 bosses, though, with res sickness. That was pretty impressive.
And
I'm
ironically,
impressed.
he was squishier without rest sickness. It's aggro.
I doing world quests, and some of the world quests, I was doing Drustvar stuff yesterday because I haven't finished Drustvar, but it's just because I got maxed and was doing everything but that. And I was just dying because I was over pulling. And I know that with the scaling, you know, there's a certain degree of you can't really do that until you're... I couldn't do that in Legion until I was heroic geared. So I understand, but I'm still kind of irritated about this whole scaling situation. I think scaling after max level, people should just... I think it should not exist for no other reason other than I work really hard to max out so that I can be stronger. And I'm not talking about other players, right? I'm talking about NPCs. I want to be able to go back and...
It hits 120, and then after a certain time, the gear just overlaps everything. So
I just should be able to...
I like scaling.
Well, yeah, because you're a fucking sadist and you like things that other people don't.
This ties in with my can you not, so I'm just going to hold my tongue until then.
Right. But in line with that, I do have a can-do attitude, right? We're in an age where it's Bell's can-do attitude movement. And there's several other movements like no-ho policies and all that, which we could talk about later on throughout the remainder of the year, because I do have a lot of good life advice about that. But
Check the feet.
also, there's auction house changes coming. I was under the impression some were on PTR, although I couldn't find the build. Maybe they haven't hit PTR yet. I'm not sure.
They said it was on PTR.
They did. I know that, Murky, you were right. There was one that was released. Well, it was a hotfix, and the deposit amount for certain trade skill goods has increased by 20% of the asking price of a single unit. The cost is constant regardless of the stack size, so you're just going to have to deal with that, and you'll get it back once you successfully sell the auction. Of course, what they're trying to do essentially is avert the putting one stack of ore 500 fucking times in the auction house.
They're still going to do it if they get their gold back, though.
I think that there's some things that I hope that they're working on refining what that doesn't apply to, because, like, I shouldn't have to be forced to, but I guess it's trade goods, and I think the large part of that's probably mat related. Hopefully it isn't on, like, actual crafted things, because you can't expect me to put a whole stack of, you know, enchants or...
5. I prefer stacks of 5 or 10.
I don't want to go to the auction house and buy 5 enchants if I only want 1. I shouldn't be forced into... This is a buyer and seller's market here, where a economy, you're not going to tell me what the fuck I'm going to buy. I already have to pay taxes, and I'm not happy about that. But, like, there are some instances where, you know, I think there should be some things that it's okay. But I do agree, because I've been trying to buy herbs because my herber isn't ready, and I have to sort through to get the clumps of them instead of the one. That, you guys have no life. Like, I really need you guys to get a life, because that is a little ridiculous.
Well, I don't have any gathering professions on my characters, but for instance, like, I like those individuals sometimes, because when I go to the scrapper, and I'm scrapping all the crafted rings I just made, and I get some gems and some ore back, like, maybe I just needed 2 more ore to finish out that stack of 20 to make a couple more rings. Like, I mean, I know the price isn't vary that much between 1 or 5, but I hate carrying an incomplete, like, set on me.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way, though.
I don't even know why you giggled. We're going to talk about that later, mister.
I was trying to read chat, and I saw something about a wall, and I was like, what, is Trump here? And then I don't actually know what the wall is referring to, but... oh, maybe it's the wall of items. I don't know. But they are... Keep in mind that the little things that they're doing, there has to be a lot of thought and feedback that they're going to rely on the community for. And I mean, like, solid feedback. They're going to need real...
Not just, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah, like, this sucks, kill yourself. Like, they need actual solid feedback, because this is something, while they're very honest, they don't want to control it. And I don't want them to control it either. I don't want them to tell me what I can do and what I can't do, because, you know, this is...
Not capitalism at that
right, and I already deal with this in real life, and I don't need to deal with this in the fucking game. I just want to do what I want to do. But I'm also not an asshole who posts 11 million herbs at 1 stack, right? That's just not my vibe. So, if you're that guy
I'll
that does that...
undercut you, and then undercut my own auction, and then undercut that with a bunch of 1.
Yeah. I'm the guy that buys it all out, and then I double the price in the auction house, because I'm the only one that has the stuff at the point. No, that's smart business, guys. That's business in any sense. You buy out your competitors, and then you make more money. That's how drug dealers happen, okay? That's how one drug dealer becomes more popular than the other drug dealer.
That's how you flip weed?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm teaching you life lessons. I know things, so if you guys ever want to...
Taking notes now.
Yeah, if you ever want to pedal in the side, they call it a wall so you can't find other things. Okay, that makes sense. Man, people are fucking dicks.
That's why I
shows
sort
how much we play the market.
I know.
That's why it's sourced by buyout price instead of just the single.
I sort by rarity. So if you're looking for, like, when I'm looking for my herbs, if you sort by rarity, it'll actually pull the stacks above the top. Like, it'll be reversed, so you'll have to click it again. But the rarity, because they pull all the stacks of 1 first, and they put all the ones that are in big chunks at the bottom of the rarity sort. So you'll have to click it twice, but when you do that, you'll get all the ones that are in stacks up top and the other ones. I don't know if anybody else knew that, but that's how I've been getting around that wall of stuff for some reason. I don't know if anybody else understands that technology of why it does that. I think maybe because to them, rarity, if there's only 1 stack or 1 of each... Instead of a stack, if, like, something's supposed to have, like, say, a stack of 100 and there's only 1, I think they're saying that's more rare than the stack of 50 or the stack of 100. So you have to click rarity twice, and you'll notice that it'll...
No, that's just going by the rarity of the single item. It's only...
That's what I just... Right.
But it's not based on the stack size. Stack size just because that's...
So can you explain to me why when I click it, it gives me all... You know, you have all the ones, but when I click it again, it gives me all the stacks in order of the way that they're stacked?
Wizard.
Because I don't know how to explain it, but it's not because more of it makes it less rare. It's just, it's numerically categorized.
Well, if you know what it isn't, then we would have to have a good idea of what it is. I don't know why it does that, but it does do it. So the rarity will help you get through the stacks of 1, because it'll flip.
Just sort by buyout price, guys. Listen to Murky and I.
The buyout price isn't always accurate, because sometimes the 1 stack is more expensive than a stack of 100, and I know because I did that yesterday.
Buyout price per item, sorry.
I can't wait to get my Bronto and stand in front of you. I meant to put that fucking screenshot up. I'm going to try to find it. I guess I'll do that in a few. I did have somebody I wanted to... They're really the champion. Right. Yeah, they're the hero, guys. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's finish this. Okay.
Where did we leave off?
The last thing I wanted to talk about in this little portion is I wanted to talk about this Pathfinder 1 thing. Here's the reason why I wanted to talk about it. Somebody told me yesterday, oh, you haven't even got your Pathfinder 1 yet? Nope, and I don't give a fuck. Oh, then you're not going to be able to get your...
What was that, Kaylin? Just kidding.
Yeah, you're not going to get your fast mounting. First of all, if I want fast mounting, I'll walk downstairs. Second of all, I don't need... I don't need the additional 10%. I don't need the additional 10%. That's all it is, guys. We're talking about 10% increased mount speed. 10%.
Look at it this way. I'm going to be 10% faster than you, so...
10% more fishing and farming.
You already are 10% faster than me, and that's okay.
More
But
than 10%.
part of the Pathfinder, you're going to get it in a natural process. The most important thing is just to make sure you finish those quests in the zones where you're at. So if you're Alliance, you need to wrap up all your cool Terra stuff. Just get it done. You could even do a little bit each day. I've been doing some random in-between shit that I missed.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it in a natural fashion. You don't have to fucking rush to do anything. Guys, we're months from being able to fly. And the
Honestly,
10% is not enough for you to put that above gearing for raid. Doing your island expeditions, which we're going to talk about that in a minute. Doing your war effort stuff, we're going to talk about that in a minute. There are other things that are priority. You can rest in peace, knowing, well, okay, maybe not rest in peace, but you can... Pathfinder is not the important thing at this moment. 10% mount speed is literally their stirrups.
You don't want to be behind it, though. Like, you want to be...
You're going to do it in an organic fashion. If you're doing all the things and in your order of stuff, it's going to happen organically, guys. It's going to be okay. You don't have to be revered and exalted and honored with all the shits right now. You don't have to...
I mean, if you're not honored, then that's weird.
I'm not honored with some of them, and guess what? I'm fucking surviving, and I don't have to be a tryhard, and I don't have to do all the fucking content in the very first week of the expansion open. And I don't have to have people go, you haven't even done a mythic yet? No, bitch, I haven't done a fucking mythic yet. And?
Whoa. Very hostile.
No, because it's the tryhards that are taking over the world, and I want to do stuff at my own pace, and I don't want to be told... You should have this already because you don't want to be behind. You don't want to be behind, but it's okay. I'm casually going through things because I've been working a lot. And guess what? I'm making it. I'm not as good as Rem or Murky because these two... There's nothing I can say without insulting, so we're just going to stop it there. But they're good, and they're where they, you know, they're the guys that you want to be because they're doing everything. No, it's 10%. Somebody did the math. I read 4 different things. 2 of them were on the forums, and somebody actually did the math. There's a thing you can output, and it'll tell you. But they did the math. It's 10%.
But there's not even math about it. It says in the achievement. 10%.
Oh, it didn't. When I looked,
No,
I looked.
It did day 1. It says 10% movement speed
Did they
in
move it?
Zandalar and Platerra. No,
Oh.
it says it right in the achievement.
What did I look in then? I looked in something because I was trying to figure out if...
Oh, maybe Pathfinder 2?
Maybe. But yeah, it's 10%, guys. It's good. We're
Maybe
going to be okay.
If it reduces days, I would farm all day for that.
And yes, you're correct. If there would have been a different reward there, like you could not have to use the stirrups, which, by the way, there's new stirrups and there's new horseshoes. Horseshoes, guess what they do, guys? Are you ready? They do the same fucking thing Pathfinder does, except I'm pretty sure it's 20% for the horseshoes. It might even be 30.
I thought they just made clicky-clacky sounds on brick.
They do, and it's like the cobblestone, you know, the old school.
Mm-hmm.
But they have... But you're right. If it would have been like a days, like a no days effect, or, you know,
Just give me 2 coconuts and I'll bang them together and I'll...
well, see, I did look. That person's does not say a number. Who is that? Kiko. Kiko's does not say a number.
My achievement does.
I wonder if they... That's interesting. Because I did look at the tooltip of the achievement because I was trying to... I didn't look in game, though. I looked...
In the achievement log?
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But it's 10%, guys. It's going to be okay. Nobody's going to die. If it's your get down and you want to have it so you know it's out of the way.
I might die.
Yes, you can do it. The only thing that I will say as far as that goes is just keep focused on your rep. Your rep should always be the important thing.
Yeah, the diplomat's going to be the most time.
Yeah, from day 1, your rep should always be the important thing because it's really easy for you to go back and do quests. It's easy for you to go run dungeons, and I haven't even done Siege of Borealis yet, and guess what? I'm okay with it. But it's easy for you to go back and do those things. The rep is the only thing that I would suggest that be your focus, that you do your emissaries, which I'm actually going to segue into. Actually, no, we'll talk about that in a minute, but we are going to talk about rep. Now that I've got all my anger out and the alcohol is starting to kick in, and I'm going to try to see if I can get my husband to come in here and slide me another drink because I don't want to get up because it's rude.
I could have sworn it said 10%. I don't know where I read the 10% because I knew the 10% before someone did the math, but it only says increases mouse speed. I could have sworn it said 10% somewhere though.
I thought I saw 20 previously too, and then I saw the things that said 10%. And I was like, this person.
I knew it was 10%, but I don't know.
It's kind of weird, but it's 10% is 10%, right? If you're a 5 and then you have 10% and you're 5 and 10%, that is a little bit better in the eyes of the females. So it is good that you focus on that 10%. But
they do this thing a lot though. Like for instance, when they had the really good guild perks, they had the one where you're dead and you move quicker. Before at the very beginning it was like 100%, and they're like, oh no, that's too fun. And they reduced it to like 50%, and then it settles. I think at the moment it's like 10% now. So it's useless.
They're like me as a parent. If it's fun, it's not allowed.
What do you need $20 for? You can have $10. Here's a 5.
That's also me as a parent, mostly because I'm cheap, but I'm just kidding. I'm actually a fun parent sometimes. Not even a little? Guys, my back is sweaty. So, okay. Guys, let's swap focus here.
Focus time.
Hold on, I'm sweaty. Guys,
focus on the sweats.
I don't know why it's so hot in here. You know why?
Your mom's playing with the AC?
No, my mom would never touch the air conditioner. Never. Anybody in this house.
Yeah, she wants to keep her fingers.
Yeah, nobody would touch this air conditioner. But it's I made adjustments, and the adjustments, it was I have too much skin. Okay. I believe that's probably how circumcision was born, outside of it being religious. But anyway, okay.
No, I got no comment. Carry on.
Okay,
guys,
so artifact knowledge.
We already talked about that.
Not the LOE.
We did. We literally talked about it. I just didn't say LOE, but we did. Murky, I don't know who Travis is. He segued us into that.
I know.
Okay, so Azshara. Now, obviously, I'm on the late train because I barely watched it yesterday. Now, most of the time, it's not shocking that these cinematics would move me or move anybody else or, spark emotion, all those things, because that's what they're designed to do. And Taron Gregory and his team, they're fucking killer. That's their job. And nobody knows better than they do how to make those feels because they feel that, right? I wasn't expecting, because I didn't know a whole lot about Azshara, and I know a lot of people are like, wow, what do you mean? Guess what, guys? Lore was not a big part of my life back in the day, right? It's becoming that way now because we're diving into things past now, so I can no longer get away with just being in the current knowledge, right? Because I don't know necessarily the weight of some things when they happen. Like other people, it clicks to them instantly. But I was pretty... First of all, I was creeped out of all the things that, a Titan chose. Like the god, the dude of the squiddy balls, whatever the fuck.
Wait,
like,
what?
He chose a fish to be, like a creepy ass little fish to be his voice of all the ocean creatures.
Well, because it's inconspicuous.
It wasn't even a cute fish.
It's the least menacing thing that he could find.
But I wanted to talk about... I didn't know this story, and it is for no other reason other than I don't know if it was a known story or... I don't really know, but I wanted to talk about... I wanted to get some additional context for those that maybe like me and maybe don't know the weight of what that looks like. So...
well, stuff is kind of weightless underwater, so there's not a lot of weight to it.
Well, if it's weightless, then why do people drown?
Because they can't swim.
But why do they sink if we're weightless?
Not enough salt in the water. I don't know.
It's just a question. Like, it's a valid, like, if we're weightless in the water, why do people sink?
Look, I didn't take a science class to be here. Like, come on now.
Right. I didn't have to.
What's the density?
I didn't have to pass science to be a podcastologist. So, give me some background outside of that original. And if this is a spoiler, guys, I apologize, but you should probably watch the cinematic. But give me some background on this particular incident that they're talking about in her, where she looked like she was a fucking badass, and I'd follow her anywhere. But
okay, so that timeline or that event that was going on, that was actually the Sundering. That was right after the Well of Eternity was destroyed. That's when the first War of the Ancients was going on. That's also when Illidan was taking the water from the pools of the Well of Eternity. So that was like when everything was going to shit, is when that whole scenario is when she blocks the water and she eventually it's not like she gives in, it's more that she becomes weakened. And so that everything about N'Zoth is speculation because there is nothing confirmed about him, but everything is confirmed at the same time. And this is the first time we've seen him visually in World of Warcraft in the universe ever. We had a view of him on the Hearthstone card for the first time ever. And we always knew that he was technically water-esque because, one, of H.P. Lovecraft, that's where they pull a lot of their stuff for old gods. And because he's the god of the water depths and all that.
Why do they always have to have tentacles? Like, can they just have, like, a really strong fin with an armor? Why does it always have to be tentacles?
Sexual fantasies.
By who, though?
I don't know.
Tentacles implies multiple, and that's a lot of work for everyone. So this is the first time that we've actually, like, huge confirmation that this is, unless that's not his true form, right? Because it could be...
Well, that's his form, but old gods always, they're apparitions. They can appear to you in any form. Like the fish thing, that could either A, be a form of him, or it could be something that he was controlling, or a mix of the both. But the biggest thing is, we've always known that Azshara was in league with N'Zoth. We always knew that he was the reason why she was a Naga and the rest of her people were Nagas. But this was like 100% confirmation and showed how it happened. Where it was, she was making a deal with him, and at first she was going to be a slave, but Azshara doesn't mess with being a slave. She is arrogant, powerful, and just as manipulative as an old god.
I could get down with that kind of bitch, though, because that's strength.
You, yeah.
Did you say that's me? Wow! I'm none of those things, though, except just the bitch cunt part. Like, I'm not any of the other stuff. No, I'm none of those things. But I can respect the I won't bow to you type of get down. Like, I can respect that.
Yeah, no, she's straight up, like, even when he was about to kill her, like, she was, like, standing up to him kind of thing. It just shows what kind of a person Azshara is. And we don't see her a lot that much, and we've never seen her true form since the Sundering. So seeing it in the cinematic and seeing the images of Azshara from the raid stuff, that was also pretty cool.
Shrine of the Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I don't know that I would blame her at all, and maybe I would. I don't know. It's one of those things where I tried to think, like, what would I do? I for sure wouldn't be a slave, right? I would tell you to fuck yourself 6 ways from Sunday. I don't care what you're offering me, unless you're offering me tacos for life. I'm not going to answer to you, but I will do...
We'll work together, but I'm not going to work for you.
And I'm going to be better than you. Let's just get this under...
She can never be better than him.
Well...
He may be the weakest old god, but he's the wisest, he's the most cunning, he is like the epitome of his title, the Corruptor. So
the fish was really creepy.
At least it wasn't that fish on the wall. That'd be even creepier.
But I was trying to think, like, creatively. I would be so many other things.
Like a shark.
I don't even know if I'd be a shark, but I would be something that would be...
Starfish!
No, this is Patrick.
Maybe, but I feel like... I don't know, I would...
Seahorse.
I suppose when I was kind of analyzing it, I thought, well, that's kind of weird that's... Yes, inconspicuous and, you know, whatever. But then I thought maybe it was to disarm her. You know, because it's just a tiny little ugly fish.
Well, Azshara is not dumb. Like, she's making the same deal with N'Zoth that she was making with Sargeras. She wants an unlimited amount of power, and she wants her old kingdom to be just as large and just as magnificent. Because that city that they're in is Azshara. Like, that was the center of the Elven Kingdom at that time.
Well, did she? The deal was really, I felt like, to keep her people alive, was it not? To make her so her people would live.
So her ego and her people go kind of hand in hand. Without her people, she has no ego. Without her ego, she has no people.
So
she cares about her people because she cares about herself, because it's her.
It's her legacy.
Yeah.
You can't be the queen of your people if you got
I
no
was
people.
surprised that she was in that cinematic. I was surprised that she was at the forefront of the waves, and everyone was like calling to her, kind of thing, because she was a bit of a bitch. So.
But is it a bitch to be strong and to know what you want?
It is when you have the lower caste be lower than dirt.
What?
So you have the Night Elves, you have the Highborn, and a bunch of other people that contribute around the different caste systems, like Illidan and Nilfgaard, and that group of people were like the lower caste system. The Blood Elves were the Highborn, but they didn't become Naga because they weren't like at that focal point of drowning in the depths. But the Naga were the original Highborn, like loyal to Azshara.
If you ask me, they got to upgrade, but...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying the first form was not good, but...
But, like, Nazjatar is the city for the Naga. It's her new kingdom. And it's in Azshara, the ruins, I'm pretty sure. So it's going to be... We'll go there. I'm 99.9% sure we'll go to Nazjatar.
Is it under the water?
Yeah. It's under the sea.
Under the sea.
I dislike the water, but I shouldn't have a reason to dislike the water. I have underwater.
But Bashir was the best loving experience ever.
Get out. Show's over.
The thought of even going back, I want to punch everything.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually like Bashir.
That's because you're a fucking sadist.
No, because it's...
You like things that make other people feel uncomfortable. Like, that's your get down. You're like, oh, you feel uncomfortable? I'm in. That's my new favorite thing.
Going back to farm the seahorse when seahorse farming was a thing was a nightmare still to just go back there.
It's true. All of it is true. That is, well, just the feeling of remembering, and it could be because I was a little guy then, and I died a lot. That could be my memory there is because I was a little guy and I you know, Belle died a lot, guys. There was a lot of death to those fucking goblins and the random, I don't even know. So.
Let's go back tonight.
Here's my question. We didn't learn anything spoilery in the sense of who's tugging on the strings, right? So. We've got Azshara who has made a deal with the devil, essentially, the technically devil. We have Sylvanas who has a deal with whom? We have nothing confirmed, right? We have ideas and speculation, but there's nothing confirmed.
My speculation was she has a deal with Helia. Helia is a servant of N'Zoth, so by proxy she has a deal with N'Zoth as well, or
so
at least.
Are we working under the assumption that it's just the one instead of multiple? Is that
what?
Like, are we just under the assumption that it's just the one old god, that there isn't multiple at play here?
Well, when it comes to Helia, Helia is a direct connection to N'Zoth.
So, and then we have
what?
The troll princess.
Oh, Talanji?
She remind me, I had it at the top of my brain, that whole story we went through in the cinematic when we did the outpost there. Who is she? She's in league with the blood trolls, yes? The blood god?
Spoilers. Wait.
Oh, Cahoon?
I don't know. have no idea.
Talanji isn't.
Who is she talking to that she's not supposed to be talking to that we watched in the cinematic when we went to do our outposts? Somebody remind me. I know somebody's in the chat.
About Razan, the T-Rex?
No, who's she? She's doing business with somebody she isn't supposed to be doing business with because they're not good.
Oh, you're talking about that spoiler quest chain stuff. I don't know if you really want to delve into that right now.
I don't give a shit. We're a month into the expansion almost.
The Sandlands,
okay, yeah.
She's talking about where you had to stealth through and the conversation.
I'm talking about on the ship. They were on the boat. Her dad and what's-his-fuck were talking. The boat that Sylvanas escaped in. That's what I'm talking about. How does nobody know this? We literally we had 4 conversations about that. Can somebody in chat help these guys out here? Because
are you talking about the Sand Lane?
I don't know who it is. That's why I'm asking. I don't remember who it was.
I don't remember the boat. I'm a raid monkey. Sorry.
No, I don't know. It wasn't a horde quest. It was an alliance quest. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. But I didn't know. I thought somebody said it was the...
What boat are you talking about?
So there's a cinematic, and we end up... We're watching the troll princess on the boat, and she's communing with something, and the dad is talking to the... I can't remember his name. Nathanos, maybe? Question mark?
That's not her dad. That's Zul.
Well, whatever. Her uncle, her grandpa, whatever the fuck.
No. Okay, so Zul is the bad guy. Zul is on the council. He's supposed to be a confidant for Rostakon, and he's working with Gahoon and the Blood Trolls, along with everyone else. And I think it's the Zucchini, whatever council.
What power did she tap into that she wasn't supposed to in order to be able to?
Oh, she's able to commune with that. That Razan is like the trolls' holy light.
I don't know what I read then.
So Razan is the Loa of kings, and she's of nobility in the troll world. So I assume she can talk.
So like the I can't remember the name they have for them, but the type of trolls, like their variation of a paladin, calls to the power of Razan. The Loas are their source of power for shamans, for priests, witch doctors, shadow hunters, Bonsombi kind of level stuff. Bonsombi is like what Vol'jin was. He was a shadow hunter, so just different strokes for different folks.
I was reading, so I went down a rabbit hole of not theories, but it was directly after this that I started reading up on some stuff, and I don't know if I just merged stories. You know how sometimes you get down that rabbit hole and sometimes you don't know what's fact or fiction because you jump down there. Yeah. I thought I saw somebody reference that she had tapped into something she wasn't supposed to, but
I mean, it's not something that's natural, but it's something that she's able to do, and it's not like forbidden.
Interesting. Yeah, I thought that guy was her dad. What's Zul? I thought it was her dad.
No, he's the Dark Prophet. He's supposed to be helpful, but he's a bad guy.
I better go finish my Death Knight later. So
yeah, they totally
straightened up.
They totally made it look like, oh yeah, that's the other piece of it, and we talked about that before. Where I was like, I wonder who he was talking about in reference to. Sylvanas has control of it. So at this point, we have 2 very strong females who are under an influence, right? They're
well, not under an influence, but 3. I was gonna say.
Who's the third one that's under someone's influence?
Oh, she's not under anyone's influence, but Jaina, Sylvanas.
Right, but we have 2. We have 2 baddies, right? And I'm gonna say baddies, guys. I know some of you are horde, and that's okay. But I think right now it's safe to assume that something is not kosher on the horde side. But we. I don't know if that was like an invitation or an insult, really.
God damn it.
I mean, it's going to take a few minutes for me to sort that out. But, so we've got 2 very strong women who are, I won't even say under influence, they're in league with nasties, right? Like very, very bad people to be in league with because nothing's free. There's a price that they're going to pay at the end of it, right? Whatever that price may be, there's a price. It's not the help that they're getting from whatever old god. It doesn't matter if there's 50 of them. That shit's not free. At some point, they're going to have to, answer and pay whatever price that is. But so we've got Anduin, who He's just a fucking... just a kid trying to be a king, and, you know, he doesn't really have a lot of shady underhandedness about him that we know of.
He's been doing pretty good, though.
Well, I mean, I think you have to learn a certain amount of, what's the word, subterfuge, question mark? I don't know if that's the proper context, but I'm tired.
Throwing balls.
But he's, even though there's things that they're probably not showing us, for the most part, he's relatively straightforward. Again, we don't really know what he's up to, but we know it's not good. He's got his own agenda, and he...
Well, he wants to get rid of Sylvanas.
Yeah, and he wants... You know, his revenge,
he's
not going to stop, because that's all he's held on to for 11 million years. Like, he is his pain. He doesn't know how to be any different, and I'm sure he's pushing his own agenda there. Then we've got... I like the trolls, though. I don't dislike the trolls. I like the troll princess. I think she's, like, kind of badass to me, just because she's, like... She reminds me a lot of Vol'jin, though. And I liked Vol'jin, even as an alliance. I have a lot of respect for Vol'jin. And then we've got... I'm counting in my head how the story is playing out. Then we've got Illyria, who I'm still going to go on a limb here and say that...
and she's an asset. She's not going to... she's not going to go against us.
I think she's already done it. I do. I think she's already done it. But those are things that, you know, in the natural order of things, but I 100% believe that she's already done it. And it could not be, I'm not saying it's because she wanted to. It could be maybe she doesn't have control. Maybe she loves her sister more than we gave her credit for. There could be many reasons.
No, she wants to kill her.
I mean, I want to kill my own sister too, but if my sister was trying to take over the world, you bet your fucking sweet ass I'd be right there.
No,
Doesn't matter what happens. Doesn't matter.
She would kill, there's 3 people that would kill Sylvanas before anything, so...
Like 3 sisters?
Well, both of the sisters. For sure. Yeah.
Assets do go crazy, and you are right. That's actually a really good, that's a good correlation. I actually like the Bourne movies and I read the books, but that's a good, I think that's okay. I hate many people that I would love to dance on their grave. But I don't even know that she would know, but I don't feel like right now Illyria is a friend. I feel like maybe she wants to be, or maybe they want us to think she is, but I don't feel like she's a friend. Everything in my body tells me something's wrong with that. And it's the same feeling I got with Rathian. 100% the same feeling I got with Rathian.
Rathian's a little bit different.
But I didn't know any story to have a feeling, is my point. I knew no story to feel unsafe during that quest line. Unsafe when he was like, hey, let's go up to this random mountain in Pandaria. Nothing's going to happen up here.
Well, in terms of on the Alliance side, the person I don't trust the most would be Matthias Shaw.
Can you tell me why? Because I meant to ask you about that. I need some additional context of something I missed.
Well, one, his word is the reason why the whole Silithus thing happened, the reason why we sent all the Sentinels for the whole Dark Shore thing, the whole burning of Teldrassil, was technically because of Matthias Shaw, because he said, oh, the Horde is sending troops down to the crossroads, they're going to go down to Silithus, we need to reinforce the encampments down there, or like the scouts that are over there. And it's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, let's go. And then the Horde goes up north because they know that the Alliance knows, because the problem is they have so many spies over in Orgrimmar during that time that they knew they're being watched. So at the last minute, the whole plan was to burn down Darkshore and Teldrassil. Well, not burn it down, but to take it over. And so I don't know if Matthias Shaw is working with the Horde or with N'Zoth, or if he's going mad or what.
So how close are him and Gen?
Him and Gen, not close.
They're not like homies. They don't like drink on Sundays and.
Not that I'm aware of.
The vibe, no.
Maybe there's a backstory there that we don't know and would never see coming, never expect.
Like I said, you don't corrupt the top of the food chain. You corrupt the person that's feeding secrets, but feeding the information.
So you're saying that, so we went based off his word, but was it not a race between Horde and Alliance to get to the wound first because of the Azerite and all of that?
No, because the Horde is already there. The Alliance had no idea before Gallywix.
Oh, because the goblins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that.
It's like I said, it's not that he's bad, but I think that something is either feeding him something. Because the whole reason for the conflict was his information.
Is Gen crazy enough to go through? Is Gen crazy enough to be able to be manipulated?
If they feed him the right whispers about Sylvanas, maybe.
That was really what I. Thank you for being in my head. So my question is, when you had mentioned last expansion, you had talked about like you were very negative towards Gen, and I was like, why is he being such a dick? I started paying a little bit more attention of some of the dialogue and some of the things, and I thought, okay, well, he may not be wrong.
It's from his past.
Yeah, he may not be wrong. There's
action.
there's some validity there, and you know, he super is in Anduin's ear. I mean, he literally is like up Anduin's ass. He might as well be walking around holding toilet paper.
So in terms of what he's doing with Anduin, I agree with. He needs to be able to shape him into being a great leader.
Because nobody else is going to do it.
Like I said, Gan at the moment is all right in terms of how he is as a person. If this was during the Second War or the First War, I would ship him up ship without a paddle.
But I think it's logical to assume that he would use his place at the king's right hand, essentially, to lobby for his own cause, especially if he's susceptible.
With Sylvanas, like I said, with Sylvanas, yeah. Everything else, he is for his people and the Alliance.
Because the emotions there, I think, if, you know, they're tapping into that, if I was going to tap in and try to, you know, control someone, I would use emotions, right? Because that's what you do. But I feel
we have Gan in his ear so much right now, and Velen is supposed to be one of his teachers, and pretty much, like, not a prospect, but Anduin's supposed to be his protege. Like, Anduin is the most powerful priest connected to the light since ever, and Velen isn't anywhere at the moment. I mean, maybe he's on his little spaceship with little Einsteins or some shit, but
yeah, where is Velen?
There's a lot of, like, where's Thrall? There's a lot of.
Last we left, was Velen not in the? Was he not in the embassy, the Stormwind embassy, looking there with a dirty look on his face for like 2 months while we were waiting for pre-patch?
Like, come on, man.
He literally every time he went into the embassy, he was sitting there with like a stank look on his face. I thought was hysterical, but
I'm hoping either in the next patches we'll see more people becoming involved again. But there's a lot of stuff we don't know, like for Gen, Matthias, or even Ilaria. Like I said, I don't think she's gonna betray us, but I know that it's not good.
So I'm really bad on the storyline here, but when the Worgens came into play in Cataclysm, did they lose Gilneas? Like, is that town like trashed?
Yeah, no. So it's gone.
So were they rehomed in Darnassus? Because I remember there's the tree.
Yeah, no, they had a tree from one of their hollows grown in Darnassus, and so that was also lost.
I was on this tangent in my head where maybe this was a personal attack against Greymane.
I mean, it's possible, but that wasn't
because he went after her. Remember in Stormheim and Legion content. Sorry for interrupting you, but that's where my mind was going. Is maybe it's this back and forth.
I mean, indirectly maybe, but at the end of the day, Sylvanas were just being spiteful because that one night elf was like, "I pity you," and Sylvanas was like, "I don't need your fucking pity." And
that's true. That's true. I had this tangent as you were going about Gilneas, and they got rehomed to Darnassus. Maybe this was
so speaking of Gilneas
agenda.
Yeah, speaking of Gilneas, going off topic just a little tiny bit, like for instance with the Warfronts and the fact that they're building, bringing new life into the old world, I hope they make Gilneas somewhat rehomable or reconstruct it or just make the world different. You know, not a Cataclysm different. Don't do that again.
We're not building walls, we're breaking them down. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Spending 8 years to build.
I want I mentioned this a lot, but I want the world to be more organic.
I do. I've always liked Gen, but I do feel I appreciate and respect what he's doing for the king because the king is fatherless, right? So somebody has to step in and make him not a pansy, and I appreciate because I see what he's already done in that regard to mold Anduin. Even just he's kind of showing why we should follow him, and I respect that, but I don't think that's the only reason. I think there's a lot of agenda that he's taking advantage of because of Anduin's age, and I don't know if that's because I'm naturally cynical, and I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but it does feel like he is taking advantage of the opportunity to be able to push certain things quicker for his own. And I'm not saying he's not right or wrong. I mean, I would be pissed off if I went through the scenario stuff with Gilneas, and it was, you know, that stuff was sad. So, like, I don't fault, I guess, is the thing. But I wonder what, I guess all these major players, and some of them being manipulated openly, like we're seeing that manipulation while there's no proof of Sylvanas' manipulation. We've seen it alluded to, and we've heard what I now know to be Zool, and I just thought it was, I thought it was the troll princess's dad or her husband. I'm not judgy. Whatever, you know, if you like old guys, that's cool. But it's a lot of head count to figure out who's going where and who's coming from what. And I'm sure that there's a lot of nerds around the world that have already got this well theory crafted, but
who returns?
Well, I mean, it's going to get even more confusing because there's a lot of stuff that was originally not really retconned, but kind of removed, and they're bringing back. Like a lot of with the Cool Terrace story, there's a lot of stuff that was not, it's being retconned in the sense that the story is being changed. Like, for instance, not a lot of spoilers, but Jaina has 2 brothers.
I remember I asked the first episode back, I think I asked.
Spoilers.
So again, no spoilers, but both of them were presumed dead since the past Third War, the whole event's going on with that. And something happens, and they're back in the story.
I didn't know they were presumed dead, so it wasn't a spoiler to me. But I also haven't done the Siege of Borealis. I'm working my way towards that, but it's a slow crawl, guys. But I haven't, and I didn't watch any of the cinematics because I would like to go through that. I like to watch it, like, you know, as it's happening instead of on the interwebs. But it's a really exciting time story-wise because I don't remember when I've ever been so interested in story.
Yeah,
it's fun right now.
I listened to Before the Storm on audio, and it just wasn't the same. I need to buy the book. I didn't absorb as much of it as I wanted to, and I don't really do audiobooks in general. That isn't usually a part of my life, but I thought, well, I can multitask, but I am going to have to just get the book if I'm going to. I can do it on PDF.
So
just have it on
that
my
note, Candace, you do see the tomb, but it's also empty. You see what happens with the body with the Horde Warfront stuff, or the war campaign.
Did I talk about that on the show last week or no? I don't remember. I know I talked about it personally between all of us, but the war campaigns for both factions go in such non-linear directions that each faction is its own great story.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's
now.
not like this X happens, the Horde retaliates with the Y. It's more like we're doing our own agenda, they're doing their own agenda. We clash a little bit, and then we go back to our own agenda. It's not like a running in tandem kind of thing. It's really different.
Do any of those stories involve Belle getting the Brontosaurus mount for the auction house? Or any of those stories in...
Well, there are no Brontosauruses in the game.
Whatever the fuck. What is it called? Is it not called a Brontosaurus?
It's a Brutosaur.
Is it a Brutosaur? Fuck, am I retarded?
Everyone calls it the Bronto anyway because it looks like a...
It is a giant Bronto. Is it? So it's not a Bronto officially. It's not...
Bruto.
And I read it as Bronto 100% when I see it. I'm going to pull that thing up, though.
We're all dyslexic, so it's okay.
Yeah. So, guys, I want to know what you think. I want you to comment on the show and send an email, send a fax, send a carrier pigeon. I don't really care. Whatever manner you send the data, let us know what you think in regards to some of these major players. I'm interested in everybody's kind of theories of potential things. I watched a lot of soap operas when I was younger.
Days of Our Lives?
Yeah, I feel like that gives me, like, the eyes to be able to see all the possible, like, deceptions, but then I also feel like it made me, like, my bitterness
like, where's
with the
the
world.
evil twin brother?
Yeah, but, like...
I, too, read a Tom Clancy book once.
Right! But I feel like some of that, my life's bitterness, I'm always like, oh, that guy's bad, even though he's trying to be nice. Like, I feel like I have that cynicism there where I might put too much into that to not trust the people that I should be trusting. But if we've learned anything, it's that you really can't trust anybody in game. Fuck, even Tyrande left Malfurion to lay there and
Especially
die.
some asshole mage named Valone.
Yeah, she just...
Tyrande.
Where are you?
Oh my god, I'm so happy we don't have to hear that anymore.
A turtle has made it.
I knew you were going to do that. I'm going to find that person because I do want to talk about that in my week and wow. But, Good story. That's good. I'm interested. I'm trying to finish so I can get to the Siege of Borealis so we can discuss that.
Yeah, so again, that's the cinematic for the Siege of Borealis is my number 2 favorite cinematic in the whole game.
I'll tell you if
so
it's
good.
mine when I finish whatever I need to do to be able to get there. Right now it's not happening, but I have stuff to do. But I'm trying to make that my thing where I can do that by this weekend. I don't know if that's physically possible, but...
Oh, it's possible. We'll make it happen.
The Dressfar quests are a fucking shit show. I died a lot last night, but we're not going to talk about that because you guys don't need to hear that. Okay. For the Help Me I'm New, there's 2 things that I wanted to talk about. One, the island expeditions. And the reason I wanted to talk to you about that is because up until yesterday, I actually didn't have a very large understanding for what I needed to do and why I needed to do it. I was being told you need to do these things, but until I go through it and I see it and it clicks to me, I don't fucking know. So the island expeditions, it's important that you do your cap each week. I was told that last week, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. Who cares about that? And then it was painfully obvious this week why I should have done that. And moreover, guys, sometimes I should just listen, right? Instead of being that rebel. Fuck you, I'm going to be my own, do my own thing. Sometimes it's important to listen to people that know what they're talking about because, yeah. So you need to do your weekly cap, which is, what is it, 40K, right?
Oh, wait, you're right there.
Where am I? Oh. You need to do your 40K each week, which is basically getting the points in the game. And at the end of that, you get, I thought I saw 1350 for mine that I get in Azerite at the end, right? When you reach that cap. Is that?
Well, that was 2,500.
What?
I thought it was 2,500.
Maybe.
It's 2,500, and then on top of what you did during the...
Oh.
Where did I get the 1350? I have fucking no idea where I got that from. I think I hovered over the bar. But you need to do 5 different islands. You need to complete 5 different island expeditions. And I don't mean you do 5 different, you queue and do 5 ones. I mean you have to do 5 different islands. So, because there's only 3 released each week, if you were like me and you didn't do last week's, you could have already been done. But instead, no, you got 1 left to do, and guess what? I can't do my fucking research on my boat. I'm
there's
stuck.
7 total islands, so they rotate, so you might even get even less.
I might not ever get it at this point, really, because it's on their rotation and their whim. So it is important that you do them. I questioned yesterday, how do I even know which island I've done and which I haven't done? Guess what? It's an achievement when you go in there and do them. Go in there and look, see what you've done already.
It's kind of messy, though, because there's the PvP, the mythic version, heroic version.
But the normal's all you need to look at, because if you, it'll all be in a row when you go into that, all the ones you've done previously will be in that row, and then you could just scroll down. But I'm only missing 1. And it's none of them are the ones that are open. I did a bunch like a retard thinking.
Google Ruins and Skittering Hollow were on the first.
Right, and then the other one, what is it, Molten K?
Yeah, it's the one with the volcano. I like that one.
I like that one.
So yeah, you need to do them. I wouldn't say you necessarily need to like get in there and grind all the things until your eyes bleed, but you should do that.
Just do a couple each day if you can.
Don't be like me and wait until the last day of before reset and try to do 50 million of them. Also, mythic level, the reward is totally worth it. It's better, right? And you have to do less if you can manage to bang out the mythics. You have to do less of them to get your cap.
With a coordinated group, it's pretty easy.
Right. If you're not ready for mythics, just don't. Just stick with heroic. Heroic is okay. It doesn't hurt anybody. It's a good compromise between needing 9,000 and getting that 9,000 because that counts towards your, your 40K, and getting, it's a fair difficulty where it's kind of an in-between. It's not, your normal, but coordinate, you don't got to do everything on a mythic thing to be happy with it, but the rewards are better. So as you kind of ease into it, especially if you have a good group to do it with, definitely definitely go ham and do that kind of thing. Is there anything I missed that was important there?
No, the weekly cap, making sure you get 5 different ones, and just don't take it seriously. Just
because you're
do them every once in a while.
Your research, your 3rd tier research, is locked behind that achievement.
Yeah.
Do the 5 islands, and incidentally enough, the 3rd tier is island related in your choices. So you just need it. But I've been stuck this whole time. I'm like, Illyria, I would love to upgrade and do research, but guess what? I can't because I'm a fucking moron and I didn't do any island expeditions last week. And they're fun. They're not, you know.
If you can do mythics, do them.
That's if you can. Don't spend 3 hours wiping to prove a fucking point like I did. We did it.
Mounts, though.
Yeah, we did it, and it was great.
We got lucky. We got lucky.
But I mean, I actually, minus the mythic, I liked his psychology, but that's just
psychology. What?
I like the thought process behind it. Anyway, war effort. Now, I have so many quests that are undone that I am in a mode where, and maybe some of you feel like me, where you're looking at your quest log and you don't know what is what. I don't know what is where. I don't know who is who. I don't know what I'm missing, what I'm lacking. Luckily, the war effort has your Horde and Alliance symbol, so it's really obvious that this is what you need to be doing. If you go and open up your quest log and you are like, hey, I wonder if there's another quest in this line, it'll tell you. It'll output that you do not have, you know, the rep for it. It gives you disappointment right there. It is gated behind rep, so with it being gated behind rep, it is important every day, and I'm going to say something that I don't want to say because I hate it. It is important every day that you do every world quest available for the 7th Legion. It really is important. And it isn't just for that. There's a multitude of reasons, including being able to unlock the rest of the scouting missions for the additional flight pass, which for world questing, guys, you really need
I wouldn't
these
say
flight pass.
every day, but at least a couple days of the week, do every single one.
No, I think you should do every one every day.
And
not on both zones. Pick a zone. One day could be Kulteris, the other day could be... The bulk of them come from the...
There is a Kulteris.
There is a... You get the scrolls.
There are quests where you can do trade goods and...
Trade goods don't count.
But it gives you 7th Legion rep. It gives you a scroll for the rep.
It counts, but it's only 1 or 2 that's on Kulteris. I'm saying majority of them are...
Yeah, but some days you could just do those, and then others you could focus on, you know, the opposite faction, whatever faction you are. But you really should just go and do all of them. Start at the top, go all the way down to the bottom. Just get them done. Most of them are in a row. I'm inefficient. I don't usually do that. I focus on what I need right now, which is usually gear-based or something with haste on it. Because, right, or, yeah, war resources, because I do all that stuff on my phone, and that... Good segue there, Merc. You're really...
All of them but the Azerite.
Honestly, guys, I don't really deal with the Azerite ones unless it's 7th Legion or... You know, I don't need to do the champions because I have the scroll. I'll get there eventually. But make sure you do your missions for the tokens because I got honored offline. I logged in honored. Not honored, friendly. I'm halfway to honored. I'm like almost at honored. But I was really trying hard to get friendly so I can unlock the next. And when I logged in, I was friendly because I was doing the tokens. And I got lucky with like a 200 rep token and a 2, you know, but I ran out of resources also. But you need to do that. You need to make sure that your 7th Legion is in line. So try to not get behind only because I'm behind. And because I'm behind, I'm having to play catch-up. Anything rep-related catch-up-wise is just a bad thing. That should always be not your number one all-the-time focus, but just have the rep in mind because you don't want to be that guy that has to go back and grind for that stuff later because you didn't, you know. Most of it's a fluid process except the 7th Legion. The 7th Legion's the only one that isn't necessarily a fluid part of your everyday to get that. You have to
actively do that, yeah.
And it's easy to forget. Rem was like yesterday, why are you just doing it during your emissary? You should be doing it every day. And I was like, so? You're not even my dad. And then I was like, fuck, he's totally right. Because when I did a count of how much rep was available for those quests, I thought, well, that's like not having a simple IRA, guys. You're lighting your money on fire.
Also, since you're talking about the 7th Legion rep, some areas in Zandalar have wanted postings. It's not like a lot of them that you have to go out of your way for. Some of it's mostly around like the outposts and all that, but some of them give like 250 rep, and so it's a total of I think 2,900 rep additional if you do all the quests that are available.
I read that too. I should have mentioned it. Look at you being better than me.
I shouldn't.
When they grow up to be better than you guys, it's all you could imagine and hope for. It really is, because then I could die tomorrow and everything would be all right.
I don't want to go that far.
So, for the sake of reputation talks here, it seems like everything storyline-wise is just up to revered. That's your target, is you want to get revered, because that's how you unlock. That 7,500 of the 12 is how you get for Alliance, it'd be the King's Rest dungeon. And for the Honor Bound for the Horde, that's how they unlock Siege of Borealis, is hitting that 7,500 mark. And then the last quest pops up at Revered, I think.
Yep. So the 7,500 into Honored, right?
Into Honored. So before Revered is how you unlock the opposite faction's final dungeon.
So I'm Honored. I was thinking I was friendly, but I'm like 8,000 into Honored now. That's why I shouldn't drink, but I got confused. You're right.
Right.
Sorry, you're right.
Halfway through, you get the second to last.
And then the Revered to Exalted portion, that feels more so the goal for the people who want to unlock their allied races, the Dark Iron Dwarfs. Yeah. Yeah,
you need all of them Exalted for the Azerothian Diplomat.
And they're both open now. There's people that already have the Magar and the
they did it last week, yeah.
Last week, yeah.
Freaking nuts.
Cheaters.
I just would like Quilterans. I would like, I'm just going to say it before we move on to the Can You Not. I feel like I really hope the different body types for Quilterans is going to be a thing. I'm really, like...
We'll see.
I hope Blizzard heard my plea, because, you know, I was, like, crying for a while about how I really would like... And they don't even have to make a super skinny model. I just want there to be just maybe 2 choices of...
Well, I'd be surprised if they did, because never have they ever had different body types. So,
well, I know that there was data mined stuff, so I'm really hoping that that goes my way, because for no other reason other than
it's going to be a male.
I have been toying with the idea of faction changing her anyway. Even if they don't change the body type, I've been toying with the idea, because you know the vendor. The Admiralty vendor. I dig her vibe. She's got white hair, right? So, like, I kind of dig and could kind of see Belle maybe... I don't know. It's tough. The Druid's definitely going Quilteran, but I don't know. I might even let you guys make that decision. Maybe we'll have a vote and when
I'm going Dark Iron, so...
Dark Iron.
Good.
Well, yeah, because you guys, like, Murky, he's already, like, a dwarf in life. And that wasn't a short joke. It was not a short... It was not a short joke. I meant, like, with vigor and...
Kill those fuckers over there.
And, like, the shoot 'em up.
I'm like 5'9". Don't believe her.
Yeah, I didn't. It wasn't like a short. Aren't I taller than you?
I don't think so.
How tall are you?
You were when you wore shoes.
You're about the same height.
You can't be 5'9" though.
No way.
There's no way you're 5'9" because I'm not even close to 5'9".
Well, so every time we hang out at BlizzCon stuff like that, like my shoes are literally just like some cheapo slip-ons. But I have a photo of you resting your head right here on me.
I'm pretty sure I was tired and was leaning. I might have been.
Well, you were leaning, but like you were clearly shorter than me.
I'm trying to. We're gonna have to figure this out.
I don't know. Every time I come over, you're just cuddled up in the couch on a laptop.
I don't want to wear pants, so Dang, Bod called you out. He said he's 5'9" and he was not 5'9".
Wow.
So it just goes to show you could be anything you want to be on the internet, guys.
I can be 5'9" if I wanted to.
I know. Let him be him.
Well, my license says I'm 145'9". So
I wanted to give a shout out. Somebody commented. I'm actually going to pull it up. Somebody did a Can You Not on the show, and I appreciate it. They did a comment on the YouTube. And I thank you for sharing your Can You Nots with me. And, you know, before we move into the Can You Not, Barry, I know you're listening, and I want you to listen to the sound of my voice. And while you're listening to the sound of my voice, I want you to pretend that I'm standing right there with you, and that you and I are face to face, and that you're not behind a keyboard, and that you're not frustrated and angry because you're seeing a version of Belle that you don't like. I want you to just feel that we're right there talking to each other face to face, and that what you would say to me to my face instead of what you would say behind a keyboard, because the anonymity there gives you that power, right? I want you to just pretend that I'm there, and I want to tell you that it's okay for you to call me a Nazi bitch, because that doesn't hurt my feelings. In fact, kind of turned me on a little bit, because I relish in being a bitch. So you didn't hurt my feelings. I did delete your comment. I don't feel bad for deleting your comment, and I'm going to continue to delete them. And you called me a hypocrite because I said I was going to delete these comments. Guess where we live? We live in America. And while we're not free, we pretend we are, right? We think we're free. For now, I have the freedom to delete shit I don't want on the YouTube. And you voicing your opinion about me, you're able and capable. Do it all over your Twitter. Do it all over your YouTube. Do it all over your fucking stream channel. I don't give a shit. But I reserve the right to not have to listen to it, to not have to put up with it, and to delete it. Whether that makes me a hypocrite or not, guess what? It says Pwnecast, not Barry. So, and I was really surprised, Barry. I was really surprised at Barry, because Barry's been a long-time listener, and I thought Barry and I had a connection and a jive, and boy, was I mistaken.
Oh.
Guys, that just didn't even... I literally just laughed.
I'm just curious what prompted him to say that, because
he was so really
worse moods before.
He had a valid point. He was like, "Oh, you're this, and now you're saying how you're going to be honest, but you can't. You're going to delete people's comments when they're being honest about you." He's 100% right.
Well, that's being honest by being honest about me deleting your shit.
He's 100% right. I'm totally being a hypocrite when I say that I'm going to give you honesty and I'm deleting your asshole comments on mine. Let's just remember that it's my YouTube channel, not yours, Barry. Yeah, I'm 100% a hypocrite.
It's American dream.
What are we gonna do? You gonna arrest me? You gonna unsub? Okay. You gonna not smash that like button? Like, what the fuck? Who cares? I don't care. Really, at the end of the day, I can be a hypocrite if I want to, because there are many of them, and I can give you a list right now of all the hypocrites on Twitter and Twitch, and so go be mean to them. But the only reason I actually said something wasn't because of what he said to me. It was because of his side-handed comment to the individual who was like, I have a can you not of my own, and he was like, can you get an auctionator? Well, aren't you the man of 1,000 answers? You can insult me all you want, but when you start insulting people in a side-handed asshole kind of way, it kind of made me mad. Anyway. Okay, Barry, now we can go back to pretending like you're on the internet and I'm on the internet. You don't have to keep picturing me there, because I feel like it got weird.
You're a dick, Barry.
Seriously, though, Barry, I love you. Let's be besties again. Let's be friends. When you're done with your tantrum and calling people Nazis, which I'm still not sure if that was an insult or, an attaboy. I don't really know which direction we're going in the world. So, whatever way you...
That's moist.
Did you say moist?
I did.
Oh, I'm so moist.
I was waiting for it. I was absolutely waiting for you to say that. Guys,
on that note...
What?
Carry on.
This week's Can You Nots was brought to you by Barry. Barry, you are the sponsor of this week's Can You Nots, because you fuel me with your salty tears. For my this week's... Actually, let's do Murky's this week's Can You Not.
Oh, man. I had to think long and hard about this one. And I literally wrote it... Yeah, giggity. And I literally had to write it an hour before the show. But this is a fresh expansion. And I know we're all doing World Quest. And we're all used to press that one button to complete the World Quest. But really... We're all new and weak in this world. If I'm AoEing and kiting a pack of like 5 mobs and your dick ass brings me 3 elites to AoE down, I will invisi the shit out of there ASAP. So you pull all that shit and you fucking die, because I'm not wasting my time or effort doing that goddamn quest.
I feel like that was me you're talking to, though, because I just... I did that to a warrior yesterday!
If I'm kiting efficiently and doing this, and you're helping me kill it, that's fine. But if I watch you run off and tag some more shit...
Oh, no, I help.
Come back to me, you're a dick.
Guys, can you
You're
not
a
do that?
straight up dick. I will invisi out, let you take all that aggro, and guess what? You're stuck fighting it. I get the credit.
So they left you? They didn't help? They left?
Me. They left. You know the stupid ones where you got to kill the guys, and then when they're dead, use your necklace to absorb the Azerite out of them.
Yeah.
And they'll pull the big guys because they're worth like 20%. It's like, I'm really angry now. That guy pissed me off. But I got the last laugh because I just invisied. I ran around and like pulled 2 of them, and he did it again to me. And he pulled 2 of the big ones, pulled the great big one, and I just invisied out. And he grabbed all the aggro after he attacked them.
I've been a
And
victim, so I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
I've also done it. I didn't leave though. I helped kill. I just thought, here's a warrior.
You brought more friends.
Yeah, here's a warrior AoEing, and he looks like he's handling this a lot better than I would. So since my Voidwalker is rendered basically useless, he looks scary and says cool things when you summon him. But guys, don't do that to Murky. That's terrible. That's terrible.
I mean, when you're a good frost mage, yeah, you can kite in circles. It just takes a while when you're by yourself. And I don't mind teaming up with somebody. Even if we don't group up, I don't mind helping you. But if you're just going to tag shit and run out to the next one and not help me finish this off, so help me God. Busy out. It's all you now.
That's amazing. Who do you
The
have?
best part was he did it again to me after I wasted the invisi cooldown, which is like a minute. Ice block drops aggro too. Son of a bitch got it twice.
Does Ice Block drop aggro?
Yeah.
It does, so because you're immune.
On NPCs. For me, I just master spell and kill you, so.
So, that guy was a dick. I don't remember his name. I was just so mad and happy he died for it. But
So basically, can you not?
Can you not just bring me your trash, handle your business, or help? Don't be that dick.
Don't be that
Eat
guy.
my ass.
Let's
Eat
do it.
my ass.
Once again, I'm not sure if you're inviting or if it's an insult. Like
To that hunter, if he's watching, he'll know. I'm Murky.
What if he's like, I'm on my way to your house with a spoon? What do you say when that happens?
2018.
I'm bringing the groceries.
I've got
Why?
small ass.
Why? Secret, why are you so disgusting? Just kidding. I love you, Secret. You're my boy, Blue. Seriously, what if the guy was like, I'm on my way to your house and I bring my own spoons?
I said I got swamp ass out here in Arizona. I'll see you at BlizzCon 2018.
It's true. It's all up in this situation.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Rem, what is your can you not?
So this happens every expansion, but I really don't like to see it on the second week. So can you not make a random group and request 340 plus for a mythic group when 345 drops out of the goddamn mythic? So I have no problems. I'm 340 just because Murky and we've been working hard to get geared. But when I see, it's the definition to catch 22. You need the gear to get the gear, but you can't get the gear if you don't have the gear. So what the fuck are you supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
Long story short is make friends. I have been healing mythics left and right. I have no problem helping people out. But can you not make a group 340 plus when it drops 345? Get the fuck out.
Can you not ask for an AOTC when you're trying to get an AOTC?
On the first week it's open.
Like if we go to Pug, because we're not doing right till the following week for tryouts, if we go to Pug on our own to go see what it's about and you say link your AOTC, I'm going to tell you to go get a spoon and head over to Murky's. Like, I agree. These both of you guys had very excellent can you nots this week. I'm super proud. Guys, we're going to start a thing. We're going to hashtag can you nots, and I want you guys...
I have a bunch of source material from the forums.
I want you guys to, after you're done listening to this or watching this or reading this or, maybe it's on the archives on Mars. I don't really know. But you should hashtag can you not and tell me your can you nots for this week because I'm interested. Or comment on the show. It doesn't matter. Or send me an email. Whatever.
Or carrier pigeon.
Yeah, you ready for my can you not? My can you not actually served a purpose, right? I had a lot of them.
It's a two-parter.
Brutal mount?
No, we're going to talk about that when we do our weekend WoW. I'm going to give an attaboy to just a gentle soul that should just... I really tip all the fedoras in a non-menacing way. But, guys, I need you to pay attention for this can you not, okay?
All right.
You ready?
No.
Can you not be so fucking lazy that you use World Quest exploits to resort to not having to actually do the fucking content because you want to be a tryhard and you want to have everything right now, to using the fucking exploits for reputation and additional rewards, and you spend all fucking day using these exploits, and then guess what happens, guys? You get fucking banned. Can you not be lazy assholes? Right? Can you not? Can anybody?
I mean, I would probably do the exploit once or twice, if I'm going to be honest.
It's even worse because a very big mouth member of the community was helping the exploits publicly. Which is, you really have a responsibility to not... sometimes people are not as smart as you think they are, and you have to help them be better people. But that did tie into the story. I read this and I thought, what the... why again? There's been times when the doomsayers, right? When you could kill yourself to reset, right?
Yeah.
I felt bad doing that. In fact, I felt so bad doing that I sent a text message to a friend of mine that works at Blizzard, and I said, hey, I feel super bad about doing this thing.
Wow.
He said, no, I didn't say, I wasn't like telling on people. It's not like it was a secret. But I said, I feel bad about doing this. And he said, you don't have to feel bad about it. The dev team already knows, and they're fine with it. They're picking their battles. It's not that big of a deal. So then I was like, okay, then I could just fall to my death. If they're okay with it, then, you know. But I did feel super bad, and I literally said, I'm just going to do this the hard way because I'm stubborn. But guys...
That's not the quality gameplay that you want.
So, okay. Let's say that there's a shortcut that lets you do something super soon before anybody else. Okay, I'm not saying I wouldn't exploit it. I guess it would depend in the manner. But what is the point of playing a game and working really hard for something if you're just going to use an exploit and then brag about, oh, I'm already X amount of rep with everybody already because I exploited a world quest that I knew was an exploit and I did it all day.
Cheat codes.
But, right, and so to that same design, there's no end game there that's quality for you, right? Because you didn't have to work for it.
It's still fun.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Fun for who? Fun for
My
the people who
Deluxo's
want to
pretty
pretend, or like I don't really believe that you would be okay with that. I don't believe that you would be okay with exploiting an exploit that made you go from neutral to honored in.
Well, exploitception.
What?
You said exploiting an exploit.
Is that what I said? Fuck, the alcohol. I don't have an excuse, but I don't really know that I would say no. I guess it would depend on the manner. But guys, can you not just don't? Now these guys are banned. I'm pretty sure it was permabans, and I'm double checking my source here. But I'm pretty sure permabans happened.
I'm pretty sure like there's a community member that or a community manager was like, I don't know what's going on exactly, but I hope they get banned. I was like, you can't really say that out on the open on forums. That's like admitting your opinion on something.
I think you're allowed to have an opinion.
Not on that.
Fine.
You can say they're working to fix it or working on something about the players, but you can't say, I hope they get banned.
Fine.
That's not becoming of a community manager. According
to who? Who makes those rules? If you were a community manager, would you not tell it like it is? What's the point of being a community manager if you are just not being...
Well, you can't say it like that, though.
That's why I would never make a good community manager, because I feel like that would be me.
Not when you have that blue text as speaking for the company. It just looks bad, in my opinion.
Maybe he should have said, I hope they get their just desserts.
Punishment's on its way.
Yeah. I suppose, I don't know. I wouldn't be a good community manager at all.
You'd be a fun one, but yeah, you would.
I would get fired my first week. My first week, I'd be fired. There would be no.
I give you.
You can't call this. You can't call this player an asshole.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah. You can't walk into your boss's office and tell him to fuck off for the latest round of hotfixes. You can't do these things, Belle. It's not okay.
What would your Blizzard name be? Because you can't have it be Belle. Like, you always have, like, the weird spelling stuff. Like, what would you...
Why can't I have it be Belle? Who would say the no to that?
Because it's not unique.
How many Bells do you know that play Warcraft? Quite
a bit. Look up on the player page.
How many How many bells that don't have boobs do you know? Okay, that play World of Warcraft.
That doesn't mean anything.
I could see all the booby streamers too that play Warcraft.
There's plenty of guys that play that have bigger
How
boobs.
many people do you know? I'm not saying how many.
Has made it to the water.
I'm not saying how many names can you look up. How many people do you know? How many people do you know with the name Bell? Like you physically know them or you've heard of them?
Life and Sutter.
That's Bella.
Same difference.
Not same difference. How
Totally.
many? Give me a count. How many bells do you know?
No, I'm talking about for community managers. Like it doesn't work.
How many bells do you know?
I'll find some. Don't you worry.
Somebody give me another bell here.
Forums are litter.
Yeah, so you're right. Sassy
The
Bell and
doggy
Cole Bell.
fucking bells.
But Sassy Bell and Cole Bell don't go by just like their thing isn't Bell. There's Cole Bell and Sassy Bell. They're just variations. But how many bells?
Technically, you weren't Bell to begin with either.
That's
so-
exactly my point. I was not Bell to begin with. I come built in with my own community manager name, and it is Bella Sang. But
Now that one would work.
right, that was what it would be. It wouldn't be, you know. I just wanted to argue with you because I had been drinking, so. And it's fun arguing when you're not grumpy. When I'm not grumpy, not you. Fuck. Great can you nots. Great can you nots. Okay. So for this week on a warlock, a priest, and a murloc, I don't have anything for that specifically, but I've been trying to tackle. What? Well, yeah, it was a slow week, and I was finishing the rest of the DitchCon stuff, and proofs are a nightmare when you're OCD. So imagine being the poor vendors dealing with me with these canvases, and so I think the canvases for DitchCon were like 37 proofs, I think is what we were up to by the time I was happy. And I only know 37 because there's a count when you're doing
It shows
them.
proof, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just almost finalized the patches. I asked them to make one additional change and a color change. I noticed something on the left side of the earmuff that should have been there that wasn't. It was removed, and I don't know why they removed it.
She won't notice the difference between 30 different proofs.
Right, but I did. Because it's uneven, because our lightning goes across each earmuff, and they removed the lightning and the, like, how it pops out
I
on
noticed
one
on
side.
one image that you showed, but I didn't.
Yeah, Joshua thought I wasn't going to notice. No, boo-boo. I noticed, Joshua, because I took my phone in my face, and I was pinching and zooming and, like, doing all this stuff, like, all up in my face so that I could make sure.
This isn't symmetrical.
Yeah, right. They never
First
are.
to the
One's
left.
always bigger than the other. Female, big arm.
Right.
There's a reason for that. If you're right-handed, anyway. Okay, so most men don't know that it is a reason, and it does directly relate to the muscle. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Ow.
And we wonder why nobody watches us. Okay. Now, because I didn't engage in PvP does not mean that I wasn't involved in some manner or something. But I wanted to talk about war mode for those who don't know the benefits after 120. The other reason is because we were talking to guildies, and I had a few conversations in Discord via direct messages with people saying, well, I don't understand why I should even deal with being, war mode. If I don't want to be war mode, why should I? What is in it for me if PvP isn't my life? So I thought, well, maybe I should tell people. So you don't have to stay in war mode after 120. It's your choice. But if you do, you get a couple things. My favorite thing of all of those things is you get access to your PvP talents in regular world, whether they're players or NPCs. So where this is useful to me, like one of my favorite talents that I use is the Nether Ward, and because it's a shield against magic damage, I super love using that, especially if I'm going up against another mage or something. But for creatures, when there's a school of magic hitting me, I like to be able to use that. So you can use your PvP talents on NPCs. For any manner in the world, which previously it was only when you were engaged in PvP. And world quests get a 10% bonus on the rewards. So if you're doing resources, you'll get a 10% bonus. I agree. And I am going to make sure I mention that, Angie. So you do get a bonus, and 10% is 10%. It isn't a lot because 10% mount speed isn't a lot either, but it's something when you had nothing before. And when the season opens on Tuesday, you'll begin progress on your conquest. And if you're interested in doing any manner of that, if you have war mode on and it's just organic throughout your gameplay, it's easier to acquire because you get your conquest all, you know, from a manner of different things. The call to arms, which I think this week is Nazmir. But there's, you know, a manner of places and things that you can get conquest from, and it's pretty much everything that's any kind of manner of PvP related. I mean, we don't really know what that looks like and if it's even going to be worth it because they're deciding what gear you get out of that little chest in the Duelers Guild.
No, I'm gonna at least try for it.
Oh, I'm gonna do it because I'm putting faith here, guys. Where faith is happening, I'm putting faith that they're Blizzard, even though they didn't give what we asked for, that maybe they're giving us what we needed and not what we asked for, right? Like that whole I'm gonna give you what you need and not what, you know, whatever. I'm sure there's a saying there. I probably fucked it up, but what's new at this point?
The hero we need that we don't want.
Right.
PvP gear is still a thing.
It is still a thing, and it does matter.
So there's one bullet point that you don't have.
I'm not even done.
Fine, I'll wait till you say your last one. Jesus.
That there's many things besides bullet points. What's your bullet point, Rem?
It's fun.
Oh, I mean, that figured that would come up in the conversation. I'm trying to get all my information out before the alcohol continues to do its business because I didn't eat all of my food. I had French fries and 2 bites of the sandwich, right? So I'm trying to be smart real quick before it's gone. Yes, you're right. It is fun, especially when you're with friends, but we're going to talk about what not to do. And you get to do the PvP achievements in another organic way because you're doing things and you're out there and you're getting your honorable kills and guys, it feels good to kill other people. And I know that as humans, we're not supposed to say that, right? Because we're supposed to be above it all. We're American. We're not above anything, right? We're as low as you fucking get on the totem pole of things. We are the shittiest country in the world right now because we are selfish. But we, I lost my fucking train of thought in the middle of that. Damn it. Where was I going with that? Murky?
Hell if I know. When do we get to PvP our own faction? Because I would have killed that hunter way quicker.
I do think that there would be a level of fun with that. There's sometimes when I don't want to duel anybody that's my friend because that's how I'm not friends with you anymore, as if we duel, right? I don't want
The timeless isle toy that lets you go neutral.
I'm sure that's coming. With the way that they're so PvP focused, it would make sense to me if they did institute something from the similar thing. It was like a coin, right? I don't see them ignoring that. I'm not
Or have another bareback brawl kind of thing.
Which was really fun.
Yeah.
For not reasons of bareback, but because brawl.
I think you're confusing Brokeback with bareback.
Good movie though. At 3 in the morning when there's nothing else on, it's a good story, guys. You should.
Is it?
No, it really is a good movie. It is a good story.
That's cool.
Not important to World of Warcraft, of course, but Gyllenhaal and all. Now, when it comes to PvP,
That was Gyllenhaal.
there are those that do it and there are those that don't. Okay?
Okay.
Those that do it and those that don't. If you are solo and you either don't have enough time or you don't have a large understanding of your class's capability when it comes to any manner of PvP, if you are having a bad day and you're grumpy, maybe you PvP all the time and you just don't have the space in your head to deal with it, and you don't want to be farmed by the fucking train of horde that wreck through killing your flight masters and all manner of things. I would think about it when you're solo not doing it. Or getting a buddy, type in a guild and be like, yo, I got to do this stuff. Does anybody want to go with me so that I don't have to be alone? If you're new to PvP or if you want the rewards but you're uncertain about PvP, just dive in there and be okay with getting your teeth kicked in until you get it. Or just learn to be safer in zones where it's potentially horde. And, watch last week's episode where I talked about the add-ons that are...
Well, the add-ons, Group Finder, utilizing groups in the World Quest area. I mean, there's plenty of groups that go just to protect each other, so...
Right. But,
Hang out just for the PvP.
if you have your PvP on, Expect it.
Expect us.
I was raging. I was trying to do one thing, and I was tired, and I needed to go to bed. It was my own stupid fault. I was out there fucking solo like a moron, and I'm a Dustra warlock. Like, I'm already setting myself up for failure.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how well I know my class. I mean, I will take 1 or 2 of them out while I'm going down, but I will go down nonetheless. I'm not Affliction, or Demonology, or a Warrior, or a Paladin, or any of the other 11 million fucking classes and specs that they've decided is going to be better than Destruction, and they're going to be handicapped with haste. I got 18% haste, guys. We're doing well, though. Just don't do it. Just turn your war mode off. Go do your stuff solo real quick. Get it done, and then turn your war mode back on. But I do recommend getting a group of people that are like-minded like you, and even if it's just one other person so you're not alone in your death, nobody wants to die alone.
It's depressing.
It really is. It's better with friends.
And not Hitler, though.
Because I'm a Nazi.
I did not see that coming.
I thought to myself, I'm a lot of things, right? Where is there any kind of proof of Nazism happening in any form? And I try to think of all the different ways that could have been meant. What?
Is your... Never mind.
Just because I'm a girl that has opinions, and it's, you know, it's difficult to be a girl and have opinions. I'm not saying they're right.
I know how that is.
The only reason I didn't hang my Horde banner behind me is because it just looks like a giant Nazi banner, because you don't see the logo on the camera, and you just see the red stripe on the wall, not even gonna lie.
And I'm the type of chick that would tell everybody that it is, in fact, a Nazi flag, because that's what Nazis do.
You'd be the first one to Photoshop it.
I really... No, it's true, I would. Just take advantage of the rewards, but don't cry about it when you do it. Pick and choose when you do it. You don't have to do it all the time, but if there's a...
10% is nothing to cry about.
It isn't, but if there's something if there's a goal reputation-wise that you're trying to go towards, those kinds of, that little 10% sometimes can be helpful. So just pick and choose your battles. Make the choice to either do it or don't. You don't have to have it on 24/7. You can have it on and then turn it off. Have it on, turn it off. You know?
Do you get better rep with war mode on? I didn't think you did.
It's just a blanket 10% for rewards. So I don't know.
I don't believe so, because I still get the 75.
I don't know. It just says 10% bonus rewards. So
yeah, for the reward.
probably the
Azerite and gold and
Azerite gold and the war resources.
Maybe, I don't know.
The what? The gold war resources and Azerite?
No, well that, but there's the tokens. Maybe. I mean, I still see 100, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I think it's only for Azerite. And the war
golden resource.
Honestly, though, the war resources, the 10%, like, I don't know what 10%
oh, yeah,
is.
you just
bomb.
Yeah.
you just stack those up.
But yes, go with friends. I've had my war mode off the last couple of days. Even though I was with, Chaos and I were doing stuff yesterday. I know. Somebody messaged me and was like, wow, what a sissy. And I'm like, why am I a sissy?
You also get the people where I have war mode on. I haven't turned it off since launch. And I was like, I just wanted to kill the world quest, and these horde were killing something, and this paladin's like, why are you going to have war mode on if you're not going to kill them? I was like, oh, I'm not in the mood to do that at the moment.
How about...
He attacked him anyway, and I killed him.
How about let me tell you, Rem, me and Murky are going to do we're going to do a play out a scene. Is there a ghost in your room?
No, there's... I thought there was a spider on the wall. That was weird. It's the dog piece of dog.
It's in the form of a tiny child?
Yeah. Rachel!
Okay, so me and Murky are going to play out a scene where I have war mode off. And the reason I have war mode off is because I'm doing stuff solo because I'm trying to get shit done and I'm tired. And they're doing all their try-hard stuff, right? Because these two are super try-hard this expansion. So I am like, well, I'm going to leave it off, but I'll turn it back. I'll turn it on if we're all going to go out, blah, blah, blah. Rem says, I never turn my war mode off. And I was like, well, la-dee-fucking-da. I'm sorry, I'm not a shadow priest.
Angie would agree.
But I'm like, well, pin a fucking rose on your nose because you're super try-hard and you're a shadow priest and you have all the hours in a day to fucking get murked by 10 hordes as you're just trying to go do one tiny little thing. And Murky's face was pretty fucking hysterical. I was just like, now I feel inadequate. But yes, Do it. Don't do it. It's your choice. Take advantage of the stuff that's there. There is a reason you should do it at 120, but just be educated. Don't try to be new on your class solo trying to go do all the things because somebody's going to put it in and around your butt and you're not going to like it. So maybe you will. I don't know. I'm not judging. It's cool. But yes.
Wait until you try doing mythics with war mode on and off.
Is that difficult?
Going to the meeting stone and trying to find somebody who's got war mode on or off with you is super annoying because then everybody has to go to the stone.
We really need the
No, so how it works is if you have at least one other person with it off or on, you can summon the other people that have vice versa. You just can't see them. So the summon stone still works.
Yeah, you can summon them, but like if Rem and I were about to run up to the stone and he had it on and I had it off, the other 3 people are SOL at the moment. Somebody else has got to show up to figure out who they pair up with here.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been an inherent process through Blizzard UI to filter that out.
Stone.
Yeah, like I think this was something that they didn't think about.
Oh, it was a huge oversight.
You know.
I think it's intentional because, like I said, you can still invite other people that are in a different shard for the war mode. But they do need to add like a safe zone, but around an instance maybe they can have it where you're in the same.
I know they're trying to deter people.
Phase.
They're trying to deter people by putting it in only the 2 places you could turn it on or off. They're trying to keep you either having it on or having it off. I think they're trying to keep people with it on, but
not for
I am a mage, mister.
Yeah, not for me.
I have the cloak of coordination. I'm determined, okay?
You're not even coordinated.
I'm not at all in any manner of coordinated.
How did you get this cape?
I had to fucking go. Chaos had to take me to that damn quest because was it in the mountain? Was it on the mountain? Was it to the left of it was fucking in and under. Who even knew?
It's in the computer.
And at the end of the day, that turtle made it to the water.
Guess what? I know all my turtles made it to the fucking water yesterday, and like an hour goes by, and I'm like, how are all my turtles not in the water? Like, what is happening? Rem, what did you do this week in World of Warcraft besides saying I did all these things? List all your try-hard achievements so that everybody knows how glorious you are and how big your penis is.
Include me on this list, too.
That's a 2-for-1.
So, Murky and I have been burning mythics either together or solo. I did like 2 on my own, but majority of the time, him and
They're
I
both
are
self-starters, guys, just so I want to preface with that,
yeah.
right? So they're self-starters. We're good with that. Anyway.
I've been grinding reputation a lot, and I have not been doing 7th Legion, all of them every day, because I don't want to burn myself out. And so I just pick important ones or do all the war resources because they're important. But it's mostly, also sometimes I just run around Zandalar just to kill people. Sorry, not sorry. But I'm focusing on reputation and mythics at the moment. So I'm deciding on what to level next. I don't know if I want to do my horde or what I'm going to do next. I'm still deciding on my mage, shaman, or my paladin.
You can try hard on multiple classes at this point in the game.
Well, I'm not try-harding on my alt. It's just so I can feed.
He's try-harding on everything in this game right now.
I'm trying to gather on my alt. I'll do you real hard. To gather
wow, I do want to do gathering, so I do feel like I want to do stuff with the monk, but I can't in good conscience do alts until I finished all the quests for myself.
That's what I'm saying. I'm at a point where I'm waiting for the raid or I'm waiting for the war front. So I'm gonna get something that I can either gather or herb, stuff like that. Focus on that, so I'm not like burnt out on my priest. And actually, I've been playing disc more than I have shadow.
Us in PvP appreciate that.
I've been healing mythics and doing PvP.
Yeah, we need a pocket healer, so that's the
reason why I switched.
When I say we need a pocket healer, I want to just let it be known that I don't want any rando pocket healer because not everybody can heal when they say that they can. I need a capable and able pocket healer. You dig my vibe?
I healed Siege of Paralysis disc. That's fucking hard.
I don't know what it is yet, but I will soon, guys. I'm gonna know, and I'm not gonna be the guy that doesn't know. But you know,
I've been healing during like World PvP where people I'm not even in a group with. I've been saving lives, man.
Look at you being the guy that is the guy that does stuff that's healing.
You're welcome, random citizen.
Thank you, random citizen.
I would make an emote that just says, "You're welcome, random citizen," because you know they're not acknowledging it.
That's true. Well, I mean, I do.
No.
I
I'm
acknowledged
snobby enough.
the warrior.
Yeah, I get some slash love and slash hugs.
Oh.
Before I was
Feels
maxed,
good.
I was doing a quest solo, remember? And like the warrior saw me struggling. I overpulled as I typically do. Because I had just assumed my Void's going to be able to take care of it, but they've made so many changes to the Void Walker that he is literally
All
nothing.
I have to do is make it an AoE.
He's just a fucking fart cloud that looks cool. Like, they literally have made him so useless. He still does well, and, you know, it's just so sad to see. He used to be this glorious thing that just was like, it was like a romance novel where he just, like, held me in his arms, right? Now, I can't even keep him fucking alive for 2 seconds long enough for him to... The poor guy. It hurts me. It hurts me every day. It's even brought tears to my eyes, guys. I can't even deal with that.
The poor Kilton, he's gonna get put on the shelf.
I still use him, though. He's still my dude. But the warrior did help me. He came over and he saw that I was, like, seriously struggling, and he came over and he killed shit, and I was not in war mode, and it was a horde. I was very surprised.
Well, there's good and bad on either side. So.
I did a slash bow because he didn't have any dog in that fight. He didn't have to come over there. He wasn't even dealing with what I was dealing with, but he did. He came over there and he helped me, and I was very, very grateful. And I thought, oh, okay, you're a good dude. Merc, let's talk about your week in WoW.
It was a busy week running all them mythics and stuff like that. But actually, I try-harded enough this week that I actually leveled a horde up to 120. I capped out.
Where did you find time for that?
I somehow managed to do it. So I got a Death Knight up there. I got him up to 299 item level. I tanked a few later in dungeons, and I didn't finish the entire storyline, so I'm not really savvy in what's going on over there yet. I just finished up all the zones and just went straight into dungeoning because I'm a tryhard. But yeah, I got the DK up there, and I hit a 342 item level today on my mage, so I'm feeling pretty good about that.
And he has all the trinkets that I need.
Yeah.
But I got that offhand.
I was going to say, didn't you get a weapon or something of his?
Oh yeah, the Sea Breeze, yeah. But he got one, but it's lower than
Was
that.
Was it a wand?
No, it was a staff.
It was a staff.
Blizzard keeps shoving wands down my throat.
So that this butthole today gets my offhand at a Toldagor, and then he gets the staff at the end.
Oh yeah.
Offhand now, so I'm salted about that. I didn't forget. I'm still salty.
These boys are just trying so hard to be more than they want to be.
It's fun when you've got friendly competition, and like
it's fun when you have friends that do stuff with you and wait for you, and you're not the last man standing with not being able to do anything, which is the reason I keep calling you fucks tryhards. Not to call it out and to just
come back and play and help.
Yeah, you do, but then I get made to feel bad because I need to finish this one thing before I can ready to start the other
I got
thing.
left behind first, so I was like.
Basically, I'm bitter because I have a life outside of gaming, right? I know that's hard to believe, but I have children that never leave you alone ever.
NyQuil.
But they're so cute, though. And then I have a husband who's essentially a child, and I have things going on, right? Like, I have things. Am I wrong? You both know him. If I'm wrong... See, neither one of you are disagreeing with me.
Wow.
We're on video. I cannot confirm or deny these allegations.
You don't have to. Your face says it all. But no, these guys in the very beginning, I've been behind from day one. Like, I'm behind on all the things. So I can't even do, like, I want to log in and do some group content with them, but I have shit I haven't done that I have to go do. It just sucks because it's my own fault because I didn't kill my children and tie up my dogs.
She also doesn't like to chain run dungeons.
It just depends.
Oh, no, that's the story. It depends.
So because I have others, because I have
depends. You can chain run dungeons.
No, it's because I have other stuff to do now that's important. I have to get those quest shits done. I have to do these world quests because I need rep and I need these things. So I have to make a choice every day of, Do I spend my time in runs, or do I do the 50 million things I could be doing at the same time it takes me to do one run? So, like, to me, I prioritize it, and I'm not saying it's the right way to prioritize it because I'm sure I'm probably wrong, but ideally I would like to do everything so that I have just a day where I actually don't have anything to do, and I could just go and do... It was really hard for me to do the expeditions the other night because to me I'm thinking, well, fuck, I could have had half of Drusvar already done in the time I ran those. Because I'm doing it solo, nobody's doing that content anymore. All of my friends have leveled outside of that and are done with those. So it's Belle doing it solo, which I'm a gangsta, guys. I don't need anybody. I'm independent, right? I just need my Kilton.
Yeah.
But it's harder to do stuff solo, especially as a caster who's like... about to start fucking sucking dick for haste. Like, that's how serious it is. Like, it's serious. It's that close that it's gonna be one step away from being on the street corner. Like,
hey, Mark, you want to do Mythics after show?
Yeah, I need haste.
No, seriously, that's gonna be what my life is like. My life is gonna be a series of doing very distasteful things for some additional haste gear because I need to be like, what am I supposed to be in, like, the 30% haste right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like 30% haste, and I'm like 18, and I'm literally having to, like, scream whenever I see a haste thing and go get it. But yeah, I'm not really going to be doing weird stuff.
Just kidding, it has 40 haste and 100 versatility.
Right? Really? No, that's what happened yesterday with that ring. I was like, why? Why? Okay, so really, before everybody starts unzipping their pants, that's really not going to happen. So let's not get excited, and I don't want everybody to start messaging me all this haste gear they have, because let's not make it weird. Who just joined? Oh, Bot is a member of the Style Boys crew. Guess who gets to do...
Fine. Give me 1 second.
Just do it. You're all buff now because all you do is work out and babysit. Look at you. See, he does it better than any of us. I don't even know. I mean, I could do it, but I need more drinks.
You need to choreograph that.
Yeah.
You know what I need to do? For the show, I'm actually going to do a sound bite. So that way there's sound to you doing the dance. I'm going to work on that this week. I'm going to be a better human.
Roll.
By the way,
Along with Rick Astley. Don't forget that.
Yeah, yes, I do. I'm gonna do stuff to make this more fun. I do want to have more fun. For me,
you know what I just noticed? We all have different chairs.
They're different but similar.
They're like different but same.
We're like together but not.
Ancient Chinese secret.
So
we're so immature. How is anybody even watching us? There's 23 people watching.
So
How are you watching us, guys?
Really quick, we were doing Tol Gador and
Tortaka?
Tol Dagor?
Tortaka? No, not Tortaka.
Yeah, Tortuga, yeah.
Tortuga, Tolka.
So there's a point where you go into the sewers and there's a gate that's usually there that you can't go through. Surprise, you can unlock it if you're a rogue or have lockpicks. And so I was like, what's going on? How did you do that? And the guy's like, he said something about like, it's a super secret thing. And then Murky and I were like, it's an ancient Chinese secret.
It's the little things that you gotta really enjoy and just take in.
I don't know. I wasn't a part of that story.
What?
I wasn't a part of that story.
You were working.
Yeah.
Fuck my job. We laugh at the dumbest shit. You would think we were all comedians because sometimes it is just so damn funny. Yes, Rem has not always been this ripped. So what it is I was on a journey of not carrying around extra skin. After a lot of pictures of BlizzCon last year, I was very unhappy. So I set out on a quest, and Rem has transformed into this butterfly of sorts. He's like now he's super social guy where he used to be very socially awkward, and he's like,
I'm still socially awkward.
you know, he's doing things, and he's going to the gym every day. He may or may not be a dad. We're not sure. We're waiting on confirmation. Like, we don't really know. He may be a dad. We don't know yet. But we're waiting to find out, and I, for one, am going to be really happy if it is a no, because I'm not ready for his children yet. But yeah, he may or may not be a dad. So give him a congratulations. Make sure you tweet to him tweet on Twitter to him and tell him congratulations on the maybe a dad, maybe not a dad. We're not 100% sure yet. But the DNA test is in the mail. Anyway, for my weekend WoW, guys, I did everything. I did Rem Daddy, yes.
Rem Daddy.
That is the best, Rem Daddy. Can you make one of your tunes, Rem Daddy?
Sure. I'll name change one.
That was fantastic. I'm really good at Who's Your Daddy, by the way, so if the paternity test results don't rule in our favor, we're going to figure it out. For my week in WoW, I did everything I could possibly do. Yesterday I did Drusvar stuff because I left like the very beginning of Drusvar to go level with those guys when they moved on. So I have like 2 quest lines left in Tier Guard, and then I can finish that out. I'm done. And then
Nice.
I'm 6 of 10, which seems like a lot. Like the 4 quest lines seems like a whole lot.
Well, the good thing about that is Drusvar is a lot more streamlined than Stormsong, so...
That's true. It does seem like it's all in one spot, whereas when we were on Stormsong...
Yeah, if you want to burn that out tonight, let's do that.
Let's do it!
Who are we spreading?
More shots.
Spread? Spreading? Spread? No, spreading.
Spread Eagle?
No.
No, if you want to burn out Drusvar, let's do it.
Oh yeah, I'm in doing. I don't know. I was a bird, a crow yesterday.
And what does he do?
I was a crow yesterday doing crow things.
Skyreach.
Skyreach.
But yeah, that's pretty much. I'm just trying to get out from under my rock of fuckery. But I want to tell you guys about the Bronto. Bronto? What is it? What did you say?
It's a Brutosaur.
Brutosaur. I'm just gonna keep calling it a Bronto.
I'm
Littlefoot.
in to make love.
I am 2. What did I tell you guys? What was I at when I logged out yesterday?
For
I'm
what?
at 2 million. Well, let me not lie.
Oh yeah, you're just shy of 2 million.
I'm just shy. I'm like 13K. I'll have that probably when I log in and go check the auction house. But it's a slow crawl. I'm getting there. Not where I want to be. But there was somebody who was very nice, and I wanted to tell you about that before I ended my week in WoW. I have all these selfies I took of the hanging horde in fucking Borealis. I am so twisted. I'm taking selfies of just smiling and laughing at the horde hanging, and it's so grim. Guys, I'm a bad person. Let me find this guy's name for you because I should have been ready and I wasn't.
They're our enemy faction.
But I feel bad, like I was a real...
Why that sound like Mandark?
So this person, can I... If I add this, I'm going to add a scene, so I want you guys to see. So I'm going to have to go... Hold on.
See.
Well, I can't see shit.
I want to show you. So I was in Borealis, and I desperately needed to go to the auction house. And this person, this lovely... So according to the screenshot, I'm at like 19 something in my gold. Thank God for screenshots. Anyway, let me find this. This person sat here for at least an hour because I did a lot of things and I kept coming back to use this mount. And this person just sat there patient. They were active, meaning they weren't AFK, because I did an emote when I like tested to see if they saw me targeting, were they going to run away like an asshole? And everybody was running in and out, running to the mailbox. And I did I think a hug and a kiss and a blowjob emote to them. Like I was so happy that I didn't have to hearth to my garrison. And they did an emote back, and I sent them a tell, and I said, I want to thank you. You didn't have to, and you've been chilling here, letting other people use your auction house, and I think that that's fucking solid. That's solid for you to do that. And they were like, I really wanted this, and I know what it's like to have to do a bunch of stuff, especially at the beginning of an expansion. And so the person was like, I Netflix and chill. I don't know. Kundra. I was trying to do the screenshot thing, but I don't. Kundra is their name. And Kundra wasn't even a max level, guys. Kundra was level 115. And Kundra...
Oh, that's probably not then, yeah.
Kundra is... oh, no, wait. Kundra was max level. What am I looking at then? Nope, not maxed. Fuck, I don't know. It says 115 on my bar. They are a hunter. And
Quality show.
yeah,
Oh,
it is.
wow.
It's quality, guys. You're only going to get quality when you're listening to us or watching. We're, you know,
Okay.
We're
Oh,
the-
I don't know where you're going.
we're the premier World of Warcraft podcast. Just kidding. We're not the premier. We're not even the most popular, not according to certain websites. It's going to cause me to rage. I'm averting, right? We're averting before I don't make friends, and then all that's bad. I'm going to wait to talk about that next time.
Yeah, that's time keep.
Yeah, we're way over. This is what happens when I drink. I don't time keep properly. Guys, we had a great show. We talked about everything we wanted to talk about, and I thank everybody that joined. Thank you for everybody who is here and loves us and hasn't called me a Nazi bitch on YouTube. I appreciate that. I love constructive criticism, but I don't like it when you're a cunt. So be nice when you're, be nice.
Then it's just constructive.
Yeah, like you could tell me I'm an asshole, but oh, I see what you did there. You could tell me I'm an asshole, but could you do it in a better way? Okay? Mm-hmm. But we are going to go ahead and get the hell on out of here because I think Murky's balls might be stuck to his leg because he looks like he's hot. So we are going to... How right am I? Just how right am I?
I am wearing pants today, so they are not stuck.
That's uncomfortable.
It is.
Guys, email us, tweet at Rem. Congratulations on you may or may not be a daddy. We don't know yet, but I'll keep you guys apprised on Twitter of the results of the paternity test, but he may or may not be a daddy. We are going to get the fuck on out of here. Thank you for giving us your 3 hours every week. Fuck it. We don't have lives either, but we're going to get out of here. Love you all. Maybe. I forgot to add you to the credits. I know, Murky. It's like you're just...
Nobody.
I know, you're here, but I forgot to do literally everything. I'm such a failure.
It's like
Again,
ignorance. Well, now it's an invitation.
Do you guys see this? Okay, so this is what I used the whole thing, and it was so great.
Nice.
Because I didn't have to keep clicking over and getting... I wasn't lost one time. Efficiency, guys.
Hell yeah.
My back is sweating.
Thank you, Trelane.
Yay, we got another sub. I'm going to do the... Can somebody
There was a
remind me to do
moment I thought I was going to throw up in the middle of the show. I'm not going to lie. We're going to talk about that later.
Why are you going to puke?
I don't know.
Is it because Rem might be a daddy?
Yeah, I was scared. You peed on me.
Who threw up on you?
No, I just